Well, howdy.
Oh, do I got stories for you? I just about met my maker about 20 minutes ago. We'll talk about it. How are you?
I'm well, man. I'm well. Unmute yourself on the Zoomy Zoom.
All I wanna do, all I wanna do is zoom, zoom, zoom. Look at me in my creepy like pseudonym. Like this is my alter ego. This is Bud, right here.
Hi, bud.
Bud.
Oh, right. Yeah. As a dyslexic person, I'm like, oh yes, 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 yes.
I like to be ethereal and ephemeral, and I dance between the raindrops. No accountability. I can always blame it on Bud or Dub, either one.
Right.
Those are just facets. Those are little aspects that I amplify for frivolity sake.
Well,
Where the hell Pete?
the
I guess Pete
the
wouldn't be here, right? Or else I wouldn't be here. But you're here.
well the lack of accountability. That's what I was thinking. Like if you have no
That's
accountability, you are filling the perfect shoes right now.
right. And I hope he hears this at some point, and I hope this sends him into a frothy rage. Oh, Miss Cheesecake. Look at her. Seductress. Got the black lipstick on, the come hither eyes, purring. You know what?
Well,
Fuck yo ottoman, okay? If I had the ability right now, if I had arms, I would throw your ottoman so far out in the lawn, okay? But I also happen to love you, Miss Cheesecake. You've got the best show around. You've got the best vibe. You got the best taste. I mean, let's just say, okay, why haven't we done a show before, Miss Cheesecake? Why am I still talking to you? Don's right here. I'm ignoring him. I'm not even looking at him. This is like,
hi.
him and I had good times, but those are in the rear view now. It's a subtle understanding we've got. It's not passive aggressive. No. I saved that for Pete. I'm actually, I don't
Right.
even
No,
think
no,
yeah,
yours.
it's aggressive at this point.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, it's basically just aggressive. There is no
Well,
passivity in this
well, and I and
whatsoever.
I try to pull him down pretty much just to make myself feel better. That's the core of it.
Oh, well, you're passing it along because he does that to
Right.
me, and
Right.
it's the only. He said it's the only way he
Like,
can feel better is
could
by
I
tearing
be
me down.
more perfect in this role right here? I'm the proxy, my boy
Right.
Pete.
And I'm still the
Oh, what's
whipping
the
boy.
messages? I'll go ahead and play them. What the hell, huh?
Oh, so
Side podcast, the series, and music.
Look at her
Look at her
seductress
seductress
voice.
voice.
And this is different. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the room. I'm listening.
Oh, I'm a
Oh,
man of surprise.
I'm a man with surprises.
Yeah,
I,
between the
uh,
range. I think we covered this, didn't we? Is this a pat line at this point? All right. I gotta lie to myself convincingly if I'm gonna be disingenuous. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. I come through with my seductive eyes. No,
And
fuck my
damn, fuck
eyes.
my
Like
eyes.
I have my feet kicked up.
Uh-huh.
Goodness.
I was saying something about you the last week. I was actually laughing out loud, thinking about when you get into full-on arguments with all the voices in your head. It is so brilliant. You haven't lived until you've heard her argue with the 6, 7 other personalities. Oh, chef's kiss. Again, if I had hands, I would chef's kiss right now. But I'm a disembodied head. What are you gonna do?
That's a good question, Doug. Why in the hell have we not done a show together?
I think it's you.
I don't know. I don't
Do you
know.
do
We
you
should fix
understand?
that, right?
We would break this
We would
app.
break.
Wipe the internet. I'm serious. Voltron Unite. We're co-creating a jam, like trying to one-up each other. I mean, it'd be cute if you tried to keep up. You. All right. Hey,
well,
John, can you just leave? We're talking here, okay?
well, so you were talking about if the two of you teamed up, you'd break the app, which Pete and I have done on many occasions, not for
Right.
any people rushing to one spot
No.
kind of reason,
Just rushing away.
just because we're horrible
Uh-huh.
at technology.
Right. But what I love about you is like you never get even incrementally better. It's always bad. It's counterintuitive. It's frustrating. It's aggravating. It's It's disgusting, and there's no improvement ever. And I admire that about you so deeply. Yeah, all these other people are obsessed with, oh, I want to be better today than I was yesterday. Losers, all of them. Not you. Aggressively mediocre. A solid 5. Always. Like that about you. I'm not going to tear you down. I'm just going to say you're real average. You're like aggressively apathetic. If you could care less, well, no, you care. It's Pete that doesn't care. No, but he needs to vent clean. We're his therapists.
Right.
And the hostility gets a bit much after a while, but in a parallel universe, it might be considered charming. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, hey, Lotus Bomb, how are you? I'm ranting. So let me tell you what just happened. Can I tell you what just happened to me?
Oh, yeah, right. You were on a story, and then you got...
Literally just happened.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm driving off the interstate, and I get off on this, I guess you would call it like a country interstate, but it's one of those ones where everybody drives faster than humanly possible, right? It's just they do. No reason. Oh, it's posted 55. We're going to go 80, and we're pissed if you're in our way. Literally. That's how they always are. So, okay, when in Rome, you at least got to kind of keep pace anyway and not get popped by the cops, right? I couldn't make this up if my life depended on it. So I'm coming, and I know that, I just got in the car, and I just texted you, and I was like, okay, now I'm going to bullet train and get to my studio. So it takes like this weird, like there's a section for about 2 miles that gets really dark. There's no lights or anything like that. And then it goes around a literal dead man's curve, like a massive dead man's curve. Like most people with good sense would go 35 miles an hour around it but they all hit it at like 70, right?
Right.
But it's exaggerated. I'm not and so I'm clipping at about 60, let's be honest. I'm doing 60. And I'm focused and all that, and I'm trying to be, measured. And I go into the curve, right? And it's one of those things where you can kind of gain speed, and then there's momentum coming from the other direction because it goes up a little incline and then it comes down. So you kind of gain some speed, and you go and it goes on these hills, right? I'm not kidding. I'm 60 miles an hour. I'm coming around the curve. I'm mid curve, and right in my lane, pointed right at me, stopped in my lane, is a Ford Aerostar van with people outside of it, perfectly parked straight at me to the point where my lights just saw it. And I'm not exaggerating that my hand just jerked and went into the other lane, swerved all the way around it. And I was just looking behind me to see they are going to get nailed. They are standing. Can you understand? I have never seen that in my entire life. And then they do it on this curve, and to do it on this curve would require parking their vehicle. I thought, okay, maybe the car died or something. No, these were tweakers or something. But imagine that, because everybody who knows that, they're coming through fast. And I'm very agile. I take point of pride. I'm very aware when I drive. I had cat-like reflexes, and if I didn't, I would have nailed them head on 60 miles an hour. I mean, head on. They're pointing like perfectly in the lane. Like, what is the logic? Even if your car died, push it off the road.
Was it like international tourists or something? Did they think that they were
I think it literally was tweakers.
Vantage?
I think it was tweakers. It was like one of those old trashy Aerostars, and they're out there. And it was weird because it's like one of those things where you realize, oh, that could have been it. I'm not trying to be, history out and like, that's it. Like, you're 1 minute you're here. Hey, I'll be there in a minute. Then boom.
Yep.
It's like, wow.
I had that on the Jersey Turnpike. A car just stopped in the lane, and everyone was going 80, including myself. And I realized,
pointed at me.
No, right? Yeah. See, that's the difference. He was in front of me, but there were cars going past me on the other lane, so I could not turn, and so I had to brake so hard and not turn, because if I had, I would have been hit from behind, and it would have been a spiral effect. No, and I didn't, and it was like this close, and then he finally got out of the lane into the side area. What is that called? The side area
I don't want to go on a rant on this and stuff, but if we're being honest, in our day-to-day lives, if we're paying any kind of attention, it's quite obvious that people are unraveling at an exponential rate. It isn't just like, oh, I'm seeing a little something here, I got a negative attitude there. No, I can't maintain a steady disposition by and large. That's, the funny thing is this is who I am. I am this guy. Yeah. Right. This isn't some performative thing, but I'm telling you, the cumulative effect of the cognitive decline, the social degradation, the idiocy. I mean, that's raw, naked idiocy. There's no acceptable reason for something like that to happen. I could see, even if your car died, right? Because you were on an incline, all you got to do is get out and push it.
Right.
But no, you just choose to sit in that lane where it's only, I'm going to look at the papers tonight because somebody's going to nail them.
Oh, for sure. With that kind of turn, with that kind of speed that everyone's doing,
you couldn't.
Not everyone has that reflexes.
Like if you tried to pick the worst spot ever anywhere, you couldn't have done it.
Yeah,
that's why I'm convinced it was tweakers. That would be tweaker logic. Oh, we ran out of gas, so we thought we'd stay in this lane, or whatever convoluted thing.
And somehow they ran out of gas in the other lane, in the oncoming traffic lane.
Right, perfectly in line too, like as if they were driving in that lane.
They're like, oh, we should park here. This is a good parking spot right here.
Why don't we build a lane?
What, I can't park here? You're on the sidewalk.
Speed kills, folks. Speed kills.
Yeah.
Y'all got me cracking the hell up over here. This shit is too fucking funny. Except you're mediocre.
But how I be saying that shit all the time. I'll be saying, I'm working on being a better person. Just not today.
Not today.
No, tomorrow. I mean that whole
tomorrow.
It depends
on
the
day.
Like, I'm working on being a better person.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah, fuck it. We got one life to live. Let's be an asshole for about 70% of the time.
Here's the thing, Mr. Stick. Everybody knows that your charm is, we know that you're actively lying to yourself out loud. You have no desire to be a better person today or tomorrow. We know. You subtle minx, you saucy. The best. I think this is the actual queen of stereo, if they ever did such silly things anymore.
Oh no, that is absolutely sick. We're seeing real time fucking unraveling, and it's just like, at first when you start seeing it, it's like a shock, but then as time passes, you're just like,
desensitized.
Oh, okay, that's what's crashing out here.
Okay.
It's like watching a rerun of the Jeffersons. Like, we're gonna watch Mr. Jefferson crash out, or watching what's that other show? Anything that's a rerun to back in the day shit, right? The one that crashes out the most, you can just expect it to happen every episode, and it's just like, boring.
Well, and the thing is like, okay,
I'm Gen X.
Realm, right? Maybe the oldest one around, but whatever. Don't judge me. The thing is you can get attached to it, which would be the birthplace of more suffering, which is, ultimately you're in control of your own mental equilibrium, and that's a constant like checking in or getting unstuck. The fundamentals of whatever those tools we accrue along the way to mix, success and stuff like that. But the reality is, if you were to it's a perfect storm of so many things that you could go on a diatribe for a week about all the things that are kind of fracturing, let's say, okay? And I think most of them are obvious, or to me anyway. So then it comes down to like fundamentals. And the fundamentals are extending grace to someone in front of you. Like, for instance, if I go into a party store, I will not allow somebody to be on a phone in front of me, in front of a clerk, where they treat them like they're a distraction. Because if I see it, I'll just join the conversation with them. I'll answer questions that they're asking, because apparently they want us all in the conversation, right? Right. I also think it is the rudest thing possible, because you don't got 25 seconds to extend some humanity to that human in front of you. They're a distraction. They're in your way. What are you discussing, the nuclear codes on your phone? No, you're not. You're a middle management blowhard. Turn off the phone, say hello, look them in the eye, mean it. I'm serious. Like, I get really serious about a couple things like that. And when I see people like minimizing someone else's humanity, I say something about it.
Yeah.
I don't just say quietly bye. And I'm not the moral arbiter of all this, that, or whatever, but I won't stand for that, you know? And it's those little incremental things. I'm telling you, it is those moments of grace that make all the difference. You have a choice there. I remember hearing this thing this guy said. He talked about he struggled learning how to meditate. He said, I don't know how to meditate. I don't know how to pray. I don't know how to do it. I want to. I got to calm myself. And then he had this mentor tell him a technique. And so his technique was when he'd walk down the street on the sidewalk and he'd see someone coming his way, he would imagine that he's shooting like a ray of love into their heart. As much as he's ever loved anybody in his life. So he imagines like this ray that's connecting them. They come by and they walk on by. That might be the only time he ever sees them.
Right.
It's the practice of doing that, the mindfulness of actively doing that as much as you love your mother, as much as you love your child. And now you could say, well, come on, it's not the same thing. Well, it is the same thing, really. Because it's how you love yourself, ultimately, right? If you don't extend that dignity to them, it's like, get the hell out of here. Because things are tough enough out there, you know, that we don't have to do that to one another. Not to get all self-serious. I'm just saying that, but that is also the fundamentals of my humor, right? If you notice my humor, other than with Pete, I don't ever really direct my humor at people. It's usually the surroundings. It's the area.
Yeah.
You know, it's like not the nasty sarcasm that's just kind of a latent dig that's hurtful. You know what I mean? I don't think that that's funny, honestly. So I'd never have, you know? And, but it's like, if you want to speak truth to the king, you better be funny, right?
That's why the only one who can, make fun of a king is the jester.
Right. Jester, I'll be a fool. I'll be a fool for you.
Yeah.
Be a fool for me. I'll be a fool for two.
I'll be your foil, Laertes, but also to thine own self be true. And as what follows is the day, the night, the day. Thou canst not be false to any man.
I seen what you did there, John, and I like it.
Let's grab this last one and get the show going.
Absolutely, I can agree with that 1,000% as a fellow millennial. 37.
37, soon to be 38. I like that giving people grace is the way to go.
At the end of the day, we're all still learning. I look at all of us, no matter what age we are, as just babies growing up.
Yep.
We're graduating from different classes of ethics and societal norms and just things in general, trials and tribulations. But when you give a person grace, you can see their flaws, you can see their negatives, you can see all of those things. And yes, you have a choice in the matter either to react or to see things as they are and leave them as they are, not trying to change, not trying to counter, but just giving grace and love, and then getting the fuck out of Dodge because ain't nobody got time for that shit.
It's almost a serenity prayer, really. You know, that's really at the core of it. And I just want to make this point because I think it's super important. I think that not enough people recognize that, in my view, anyway, we're always sharing a story with ourselves. And there's a lot of narrative warfare going on out there these days, whether it's the co-opting of the media, whether it's bad faith actors in your household, whether there's disingenuous associates, you know, like at work or things like that. Mm-hmm. What you can do, what you must do, if you have any interest in some semblance of freedom or peace or liberation or steadiness or ease at all, even if it's momentary, because it will be, because there is no escaping suffering. That's what I've always loved about Buddhism. They talk about the pathway to the cessation of suffering. They don't talk about the alleviation because they're realists. That's the condition of life. And so when you suffer, it's because you attach to something which you cannot control. And when we're young, because of trauma and things like that, we figure if we can control our universe, well, then maybe we'll be safe. Well, maybe we'll be okay. But I think about this every day. Like, I just tell an honest story to myself, for myself. right? And that's about as least amount of full of BS I can be, because that's what resonates, right? It's like when the first time I ever heard you speak, or you ever heard me speak, you don't know what it is, but there's a recognition, there's a resonance, because you're like, whatever that is, it makes you maybe lean in, or it could be the opposite. It could be like, I'm not feeling that, or it's not harmonious or whatever, and that's the thing. But if that's the case, and that is the case, then it's kind of you act accordingly, And again, it doesn't have to be self-serious, but it is about like the fundamentals of like how you treat yourself, how you treat others. I put all my stock in life and relationships, for better or for worse. My dirty little secret is that I love people, for better or worse. I mean, and again, I am a fool. I understand how that sounds.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, what?
I'm ranting to nobody right now. You like that?
One of my best friends of all time is my boy Pete. So I understand exactly what you mean, because I love him with all my heart.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bagao.
My boy Pete. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Dónde está Pedro?
Well, howdy.
Who would the dinner go?
I'm John L. Peacock out in Brooklyn, New York.
I'm Dubus Maximus from Rome. All roads.
And you're listening to Two Sided, a live recorded podcast where each week I challenge a person. This time, our guest host Dub, with a bit of the two sides of life: the fun and the serious.
Go on, pray tell, you old scallywag, huh? You scamp. All right. I'm trying to think of some digs to get in, like Pete, just to be nasty. I don't got it.
Oh, that's all right. Nah. Let's just
usually
go.
say that anyway. It's just.
He said he'll be on later if he escapes in time. I don't know exactly what that means, but hopefully we'll find out. It
means tequila.
I would like to start with a general check-in. Dub, how are you feeling?
Energized, and now I feel really good. Dr. Dixon Mason comes in the room. He kind of centers me. He balances me. That's like my equilibrium gets all in check. No, I'm poised. I'm ready. I'm settled. Doing my best to be like an aquarium that, sometimes this or a snow globe. When it settles down there, it's just nice, it just sits there. So I'm thinking I'm loose and limber.
You're alive.
I'm ready. I don't know
you didn't crash into that. You didn't crash into that
Dead Man's Curve of all
band.
things. Like, am I going to come up with a bad pop song? I mean, seriously. I was thinking about that term, Dead Man's. Where is it? Dead Man's Letter? No, it's Poison. Box office Poison. Dead Man's Letter. Letterman Office. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm good. Thanks for asking. That was a convoluted workaround. Dr. Dixon.
But you are ready.
So good here. I'm. Look, I'll just be frank. We killed Pete. I'm not even going to be cute about it. He's done.
Well, with kindness.
And
kindness is a term for one of our is a term.
There, thing, right? Did you hear that? Is there something still kicking?
No, I believe I hear something. I think it's our recognition, our first recognition and resonance round.
Ooh, recognition and resonance. We're talking frequencies. We're talking vibrations. We're talking sonic seances. No? Audio alchemy?
Yeah.
Come on, that's mine.
Well, in a way, anyone who's anyone knows that our first recognition and resonance round is always a standard Q&A. Dub, are you ready for the questions?
I am. Look me in the eye.
Right,
Come on. Wait, I don't have eyes. Never mind.
Well, I could stare into your soul. You just can't stare back. With the first question, who's the most influential musician or band of the 1960s?
Most influential. I'm going to say that was playing in the 1960s or started in the 1960s.
Where their influence was the most influential. Yeah.
I would say
where their influence was the greatest. Yeah.
Louis Armstrong.
Louis?
Who is still playing as far as influence. But
was he still influential at that point?
I would say, how about Miles Davis?
Miles was pretty influential. I mean, Little Richard, if we're going with that, like who was from before, but was quite influential
both of those
in
guys
the early
were
'60s.
So technically. So, okay, right. Started in the '60s. On, if you want me to say that.
Well, I mean, '62, the Beatles opened for Little Richard in Europe, and '63, the Stones opened for him. So, I mean, that's pretty influential.
He calls himself the architect of rock and roll.
All right, yeah.
And what a story. Can you imagine, just for one quick second here, you've seen what Little Richard looks like. Now, can you imagine getting booked in, say, Mobile, Alabama in 1956, looking like that and trying to get paid? And he did.
I cannot, but he did.
Yeah, but that tells you what that is. Like people like Ray Charles.
Exactly.
Ray Charles.
Yeah.
Got paid. You tell him talking the start card stacked against him. I've been to Sun Records many, many times. You mentioned Little Richards. I've been to. It's like my shrine. I go every time I'm down in that whole region. I have to swing over to Memphis and just pay my respects.
Oh yeah, what a major record.
Yeah, right down the road is Gold, and then kind of along the way, or down the road a little further, obviously, is Fame Records, and that was Muscle Shoals. And interestingly enough, Muscle Shoals was a famous studio that, like, Freebird was recorded there. Respect by Aretha Franklin. There was like 38 pages of artists that recorded there, and the very first recording console with reverb was there, and it got flown and bought by a gentleman in Lansing, Michigan, and he ended up mastering 18 of my albums with that board. So it has that mojo on it. Somehow I was trying to like extract some of the juju, the goodness, and there really is down there. Anyway, I digress. Look at me ranting and raving.
That's right. And Sun was that was Sam Phillips who started Sun, right?
Yep, Sam Phillips. Yep. And then there's Stax Fold. Then you got I went down to the Crossroads. That was cool. That whole region is just steeped in it. It's thick. You feel it. The Spanish moss, the way the people walk, there's just the movement. It's in the environment. I'm a really big believer in that. It's like when I went to Jamaica for the first time. It's like you really understand why it is like that, why it's on the 1 and the 3. It's the way the wind blows. It's the way the trees move. It's the way the people talk. It's like it's all there.
It's the energy, baby. Do you want to answer the question in the second way you were interpreting it, of who was starting in the '60s and highly influential?
Okay, so if they started in the '60s and being influential, then it would probably have. Well, no, because they started in the '50s. I can't do them either. Worm's here. Party can start. Okay. The question, Worm, is what artist started in the '60s and it was most influential, right?
Yeah, the wording is who's the most influential musician or band of the 1960s, and so we went like the influence was there, but they started earlier.
We're going to have to say the Beatles without a doubt, because I mean, if we're going to give them the acknowledgement, because they did the recording to BBC in 1962, they started technically in '59, but they didn't know the world didn't know them until Ed Sullivan, really. And so without a doubt, that has to be them. In fact, I've gone so far as to say I think Lennon and McCartney have trumped Bach and Beethoven now, as far as like the most influential composers of all time ever.
Yeah.
Like Yesterday alone has been recorded 7,000 times, covered.
It is the most covered of all time, right?
So you're saying the Beatles. Is that what you were fishing for? You were fishing for the Beatles, weren't you?
Not necessarily, because Stones. I thought you might have given a case for the Stones, or even prior.
I could, because they got a album coming up. I could go on and on about that, but I think they did do a deal with the devil. They have a brand new album coming out. They have 2 songs out right now, brand new. Just
I
for
heard their
everybody,
last one.
83 and 82. Mick and Keith.
Uh-huh.
You know, once they killed, got rid of Brian Jones.
Early on.
Smooth
What is it they say? The 3 Bs, Bach, Brahms, and Beethoven.
Right.
And then and Beatles. So now it's the 4 Bs.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, in every respect. I mean that seriously. Like, not even in our lifetimes we've seen it happen. But like 50 years from now, they will gain in stature because they had all of it. You know. I was going to say somebody else, but I think that I'll start with that.
Okay, well, that was just question 1. Who is the most influential musician or band of the 1970s?
Most influential.
Yeah.
I have 2 thoughts on how I could answer that. So I'm deliberating here. I would say we're talking about influential and what really rose. This is going to be a weird one. You wouldn't expect this from me.
Well,
Led Zeppelin.
Okay. No, I mean, why wouldn't I expect that, though?
Well, because I'm usually gravitating towards the stuff that I found the most influential, right? So I would go with, for me, I would go Marvin Gaye, or I would go Stevie Wonder, or I would go, but I also know that on a broader scale, if you're talking that way, most influential, I was thinking like pop culturally, then you have to kind of go with that because they got signed to Atlantic by Ahmet Ertegun, and he had been working with R&B artists and all that up till then. But he was one of the only old timers that saw the viability in rock and roll. And so Grateful Dead had that guy Bears Owsley. He did the Wall of Sound. He did the full amplification that made playing in massive stadiums possible. Because as we know, in 1966, the Beatles never played another live show again. I mean, other than that one rooftop thing. Because why? Because they played Shea Stadium with a couple 212 amps. They literally couldn't hear themselves. It was not possible.
Oh, with the screaming girls, they couldn't hear.
He did it for the Grateful Dead, but then the Who took it, and the Who just were extraordinary about it. Yeah. And then I really think that Jimmy Page, he ripped off everybody around him, and he just brought it to the masses like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you think about it, like every single solitary rock band has to owe to him because he stole from all the blues guys. And I mean, when I say stole, like cravenly stole, not just homage. I have issues with them on that. I think he was brilliant on certain respects, but I think there was some treachery on his part.
Yeah.
I'm giving like the people credit that had done, especially the bluesmen, which was kind of weird because all those English guys were really responsible for bringing the blues cats to the world consciousness, ironically. So Eric Clapton and all them came, and they were and the Stones. They'd go and they have Muddy Waters, and they all did albums with them and stuff. Because a lot of those guys, they were famous, but they were broke. They're broke, and and in 1969, all these English guys who revered them like idols, like they had a lot of clout. So they would record albums with these guys, and you can find them. There's a bunch of them. And that's the one thing that got them into the popular consciousness. And then so around 70, 71, there was an Ann Arbor Blues Fest. So Ann Arbor was like the Berkeley of the Midwest at that time, right? It was a revolutionary hotbed as far as like countercultural dissent and whatnot. But a lot of the MC5, Stooges and all that. But you see what I'm saying? Like you can see the correlation there, right?
It's interesting that so Ann Arbor's right outside of Detroit, not too far, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's like 45 minutes. It's where U of M is. Yeah. It's it's like everywhere else. It's just gentrified, boring, grayish. It's stupid. But back then, it was really hot. It was awesome. It was like literally the last remaining vestiges of the countercultural zeitgeist. The revolutionary spirit was still alive and well there up until really the 90s. And then that was co-opted and squashed by all corporations. But anyway, that's another story.
I guess so. I just think would you put Kent somewhere in that same category, or was
Yeah,
that just a
yeah,
singular
Kent would have been
incident? Yeah,
19. Yeah, was it 19? Yeah, 70. Yeah, 71. Yeah, yeah, they
70,
were
71. Yeah,
it was some kind of a. Well, I was just thinking about John Sinclair. He was kind of a. He was the guy that got popped with the two joints, and John Lennon did the Free John Sinclair. Well, I used to work
yeah.
in this Turkish cafe, and he would come in every morning with Ron Ashton from the Stooges and just hold court. And I just looked at my glory because this dude is just a wild guy. He was the manager of the MC5 and the Stooges, and didn't give a and just he didn't care
That's
who
awesome.
and just hold. Yeah, it was just like I was soaking it up. It was like by proxy. It was like I could feel a little bit of the last gasp of that kind of spirit.
Well, would you say he was one of the more influential? Yeah, obviously, he was a manager, but like on the music
Well, he
of a certain era.
well he permeated the consciousness of big time because he was really fundamental in spearheading the Grandy Ballroom. And the Grandy Ballroom at
Uh,
that time was Amboy Dukes. You got Bob Seger sound system. He was like a mod
uh,
before he was the mulleted singer songwriter. He was a badass. He was like Paul Revere and the Raiders on speed. They were great. You wouldn't. Yeah, and they were playing around. He was out of Ann Arbor. He's actually neighbors with Eminem
oh,
now, and they're like best friends. He lives over in
uh,
this like suburb north of Detroit. He's actually kind of cool. Bob Seger's he got out like an 85,
yeah,
He had to do the Chevy commercial, whatever, but whatever. But no, there was at that time there's the Amboy Dukes. You got Question Mark and the Mysterians from Flint. You got Alice Cooper. You got the Stooges. You got
uh-huh.
MC5. You got oh man, and that's just the rock scene. And I was always
Well,
like under the Motown spell. That was my mecca, as it were.
yeah. Alice Cooper was my home state. He was Tucson, right?
Yeah, yep. Vincent with his smart cardigans and his golfing. I met him.
Eh,
I worked in a radio station in the late '90s, and part of our responsibility as the morning show hosts is we had to go out to the Indian casino and like introduce whatever the talent that was going to be there that weekend. So I met all
yeah.
the solid B plus entertainers. But I'll tell
Hey,
you what, that dude was such a gentleman. Like look you in the
yep.
eye, kind, thoughtful. Like you know what I mean? Like a lot of times those cats are just so not that. I'll just say.
Well,
And
he so he my one of my friends from high school, his mom went to high school with him in Tucson, and
yeah,
she said even then he was very kind. He was also ugly as snot, and so he
oh
never
yeah,
got any dates
right.
because she was like his nose was as big as it
Oh,
is now, and just his
it's
body hadn't
monstrous.
grown into it yet,
Yeah, can't
and
see
it's
anything.
still big for his body, right? But
Yeah,
back then it was all nose apparently, but also just really nice. He wasn't bitter about all that,
well, and
so it's
he
it's
gets
nice
the
to see that
joke.
he's
He
won.
didn't take himself seriously because it's pat. I mean, he goes out and chops heads off on a guillotine,
Right?
every
Yeah.
night. Uh, Comes
Right.
off blood
Yeah.
splattered and everything. And okay, well, it's nice to meet you. Okay, all
His
professional.
Yeah, he has Wayne and Garth worship at his feet and kiss his rings.
Sure.
Like he gets the joke and to the nth
Well, he
degree.
had Eric
Uh,
Carr, who would be summer for Kiss, was playing with him then, so I got to talk to him before he passed. He was cool.
that's
I don't
nice.
know,
That's nice.
not any drama or
We're
anything.
gonna.
He's just like people, and you get great stories.
This is gonna be a 10.5 hour show. If we're only on question two of the
Oh,
first
we're gonna do it, John.
recognition and resonance round.
Ever leaving?
Question three: Who is the most influential musician or band of the 1980s?
Okay. Uh Most influential. That's tough because I'd say who's the biggest. I would say, boy, you'd have to go. You got Phil Collins, you got Madonna, you got Lionel Richie, you got Michael Jackson, but Michael Jackson's been around since '69. So, okay, I got. Well, no, he was '70s. They had to have started in the '80s, right?
You keep on putting that barrier on
Okay, no.
yourself, that restriction
All
on
right, I'll
yourself.
throw one at you then. How about this one? Tom Petty.
Patty? In for the 80s. Why why
The
why
'80s.
is his influence in the 80s?
Well, because he really did well with the MTV thing. Like he was one of those weirdos
Oh.
that like ZZ Top did it, and they were not attractive dudes or whatever. They just get hot chicks and muscle cars, and um, I would have said Madonna maybe at one point, but she's so irrelevant. It's and just hideous. And what the hell happened to her? I don't know. It's a shame. She's from my home state. I know her dad, and boy, talk about missing the plot. But
She does
and
have
like
influence on the modern pop, female pop.
sure,
I would
yeah,
still say.
and
I mean,
I
Gaga completely ripped one of her songs off. Yeah.
you could say like Michael Jackson, but it's not really because you can't get any bigger than him, you know. But it didn't really.
Right.
There's like no R&B anymore. Did you notice that? There's like no R&B music made hardly anymore.
Not that I would say I might have a blind side to some of that, but I have not heard a lot of modern R&B. Which
I'm going to say
no. Actually, I want to throw out if you're thinking of that with MJ, what about Prince? I mean, Prince hated that he was related to MJ over and over again, and he's like, I'm not trying to.
Well,
be
I have this
Michael
argument
Jackson.
with
I'm Prince.
co-host. Like we get into like bloody arguments about MJ and Prince because that was always the argument: who was better? As if that's a legit.
Sorry, I did not want to throw that argument out there of who's better.
Yeah.
I was just saying
like
about
it's a
influence.
position all day long. Let's be honest. Like if you're
Sure.
splitting
Yeah.
those,
There's many reasons. Exactly. Exactly.
All right. So
I'm with you on that
I'll
one.
say Boy George. Okay.
There you go. And you know what? On that one, I will give you a. Okay. So final question. No. We have one more question. Then we'll get to those messages. Final question.
Joint over here. Look at me.
Hey, that's why I'm in charge. So the final question of this first recognition and resonance round, their dub is: who's the most influential musician / band of the 20th century?
Of the 20th century.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now you got all of it.
I'm going to answer it in two ways. For me, Bob Marley. That's a personal thing. Okay.
Right on. I'm gonna just give you that because right on.
I'm gonna go with Louis Armstrong.
Louis, yeah, you started with him, and you're like, well, he was playing much earlier than the '60s, so I can't really give it to him. But that was, I think, the first one you said of anything, even though like you, and then you try to restrict yourself. You're like, well, they have to start in the '60s and take the Beatles.
But I mean, you can't deny what I'm saying, and most people wouldn't understand it. It permeates everything that came after.
I mean,
all right, I got it.
I'm going to give you with Louis.
This is my final answer. Even more so than him, Robert Johnson.
Robert Johnson. For some reason, I thought you were going to go Leadbelly.
Oh, and I found out a bunch of new stuff. It was really kind of cool because he's so shrouded in mystery. There's so much mythology around him. But everything.
Give us two things. Yeah.
And everything else is the fruit. You have to go to the blues. And he gets labeled as kind of, for better or for worse, the source. Although he wasn't the first, obviously. There was others. Even, this is good. But it all comes to that, Yeah. But Louis, it's a tough one because Louis was the one that, not just a talent, but as a cultural luminary. Like he stopped a war in the Congo.
Yeah, he spoke with Congress, in front of Congress many a times. And one time about pot early on.
Hear these stories sometime. We should do a whole show on that story. There's a whole thing about he went and the warlords from they had him come over there and he stopped.
That's right. He actually visited. Yeah.
Stop the war. I'm not exaggerating. It's crazy.
No,
They had him come over there.
They had him go there. And he wasn't even technically an ambassador. It was just like, we're just sending Louis Armstrong over.
Going over there and because he was that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You got to. There's footage of it too. You got to see it to believe it. It's just too wild. It's like truth is stranger than fiction, that kind of thing.
Well, I mean, having a black jazz musician even be able to speak in front of Congress about legalizing marijuana. It is
He
one
went
thing,
over there,
and
like the
he
CIA
went over
took him.
there, and then the government's like, you know what? He didn't do that thing, but obviously he's got influence because this person of color who is a musician almost swayed all of Congress, but it didn't fully pass. But they saw his influence and they're like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna send him
Yeah.
over and see what happens.
Right, because
And he stopped the war.
What could go right, you know? But
Yeah.
he did. It's one of the craziest stories.
Amazing.
Like, yeah, I don't know. It's worthy of a whole show. But anyway, all right.
So
it's
let's
Louis
not do it.
Armstrong, Robert Johnson.
Did you say Lou Reed?
Yeah, Lou Reed.
Lou Reed, Louis Armstrong, and Robert Johnson. I thought that's what you
Jim.
said. No, you said Louis.
Hold on a second.
Under the candelabra. Let's play those. Pop those packets and get into our first
right.
segment.
Oh my goodness, we got the Lord Hayden himself, the Moon and Bon Vivant, the Recon Tour.
Bon Vivant, the Raccoon Tour. We got 1 million. Just stud.
Dr. Dixon.
Just stud. Dr. Dixon.
Man, the myth, legend. It's been stated before. And Foxy, the party, the charm, the fun.
I was gonna say it's not the Beatles and Stones, but it's very rock-centric of me. And there probably are a few artists. I don't even want to know. Dub, this is your expertise. You're an expert here, not me.
Okay, well,
but
influentially, I would say you're probably right about either one of those. And also, the Stones, 64 years as a band. That will never happen again. But that was a deal with the devil, so it's a steep price to pay.
1970s ABBA. Final answer. Final answer.
Word.
Ooh, maybe actually I might want to change my answer to the Ramones.
That's pretty big.
that's pretty big.
That's a good one.
That's a
That's
good
actually
one.
really good, actually, as far as influence. But then I think you might even say the New York Dolls because they influenced the Ramones. And never mind, whatever. We're splitting.
Well,
hairs.
but the Ramones influenced the manager or the creator of the Sex Pistols.
Right.
He was like, you
right.
sound like this. Because he
And
saw
he
him
also was
and he
the
went back.
inspiration of Generation X, which was Billy Idol. Hey, got to give Billy Idol a shout out. Come on.
Well, so that's why the Ramones had such a strong argument because they were, maybe a little influenced by the New York Dolls, the Goo Goo Dolls, stupid, the New York Dolls, but
it sounds like girl group. It's like bubblegum pop. They're the least
But
dangerous, but they're awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Why, people are like, well, the Sex Pistols really started punk. Obviously not. And it's not necessarily the Ramones, but the Ramones, the Sex Pistols kicked him up as far as like popularity on a easily, but it was not,
I'll go on.
That's why 70s and 80s had the big, is because of those two bands, because of the Ramones and Sex Pistols.
Here's my contention. As a fervent obsessive with all things audio, I think the 80s were the last decade where true craftsmanship was lionized and prized and valued. And here's what I mean. There wasn't a bad song. Now, there were songs that you didn't like. Wasn't your style, you're not your taste, right? But I'm saying even the most supposedly disposable pop tune that you can think of. We're talking Bananarama. We're talking whatever. If you look at it objectively from a craftsmanship perspective, they're excellent, right? Or you could say Metallica, Master of Puppets, or you might not care, but like because there was not only were there gatekeepers, there was A&R people. So like artists and repertoire, they develop them, and so there was a meritocracy still in place. And I think where things went sideways is in the 90s that like this DIY aesthetic took over, like anybody can do it. Well, I'm here to tell you, yeah, anybody can do it. Should they? I think the jury's I think the jury's returned its verdict.
Would you say are you talking like the lo-fi movement?
Right. That and also just like I think it was a byproduct of the hardcore movement because it's just like pick up your guitar, and so a lot of those people misperceived somebody as not being that talented, and I can do that. Like they would look at Kurt Cobain and say, "Oh, he can't play guitar, and I can barely play guitar, so I can do that." No, they're missing the point entirely.
No,
because he had like a craftsmanship. It was the craftsmanship that got him there.
He was able to kind of stop the hair band like soaring, melt your face off, solos and everything with 3 chords. That takes craftsmanship.
We were obsessed with keeping it real, not being a sellout, not being a poser. That was a big thing when we were coming up.
Yep.
And there could be nothing worse than being accused of that, right? Nowadays, it's like the exact opposite.
Well, and before that, it ebbs and flows, right? Yeah, the hair bands were kind of like they were doing spectacle. They had some good licks, but they were doing spectacle, right? And then with stripping it all down and saying no, this is what I'm going to do, but being very talented at it, very simplistic in the best compliment way, right? With something strong to say in a very craftful way. He was able to basically stop hair bands.
Whether it was Soundgarden, whether it was Alice in Chains, whether it was all that, they were just a melange of what came before.
Right, yeah.
But that, like the 90s, where I always felt like 1990 hit and everything was a retread then. Now we're like 36 years down. Like, it's just so post-apocalyptic. But I digress.
Well, let's talk about a earlier time that led into our modern day, because I'm going to cheers to you there, Dub, Macau, and to everybody. You're welcome for listening, because we're going to talk about
and ayahuasca. Synth and ayahuasca together mix. It's a heady brew.
That's perfect, because we're going to talk about the Talking Heads and David Byrne.
Oh, once in a lifetime. Slippery people. Well, I'll go all day. Well,
this must be the place.
Rhode Island.
Stop making sense tour that is iconic.
I'm giving stats and the data. I'll do it. Don't think I won't.
No, we don't need it. We don't need to bog down with that. But I know you know a lot about it, so I'm not going to do the. I have facts. I have things.
I want a grandstand. I want to blow V.
Do you know when he was born? Do you know when he was born?
I gotta take all the attention, and then I gotta take everything out on
because
you.
I will give that fact and figure. Do you know it? These are the facts and figures that I usually give, and so if you know it, I will be so impressed. When was David Byrne born?
Wikipedia, John. I've seen you do it before.
It's not Wicca. No, it's not Wicca. I do not touch Wicca. I will be. My most basic source is Britannica.
Because I'm judging you,
and that's usually just like I do not. I will not. And I was a professor of composition, and so English for a while. So I did not allow that with my students. I said, you could start there, but go to their external sources. Don't cite. You cannot cite Wikipedia. They're like, why? Like, if you really need started as a starting point, but you have to find another source, go to their external source. Don't even look at Wikipedia. Just go straight down to their external sources
Get a
and
primary
start
source.
there. Holy,
you know what I'm saying? You know,
obviously. Right, so this is a Britannica one. I'll be very honest with it because it's usually how I get their birth date and birthplace. His birthday just came past. He was born May 14th, 1952, in Dunbartonshire. That sounds like such a made-up name that I had to check a second source. Dunbartonshire. It's like Winstonshire, Winstonfield, up in northern England. That's where I was. Scotland. Dunbartonshire, Scotland.
Side voices, John. Side voices.
11. Okay.
John.
There you go. What does he say in the book?
I read that book. So
Right, I would assume.
You got the right guy. You got the right guy here. Okay.
That's why I said if there's anything you want to...
Or the bric-a-brac. Huh?
I'll stop you when I need to.
The ephemera. The useless arboretums.
Okay, stop. So he's Scottish born and moved where first to with his parents as a child. He moved to
Rhode Island.
Canada.
Oh, I guess that you're right. Well, listen, there was a whole trajectory of people that went from Scotland or Britain to Canada and then the U.S. There's a mass.
And that's what they did.
Did you go to Montreal? Where was he?
It was Montreal, yeah, because that was above Rhode Island, and his parents were just like, let's just go south. And then they found, I think he was in Providence, because then he went to the Rhode Island School of Design in the mid-'70s, and yeah. Well, for high school, I know.
I can remember. All right, I'm going to remember the name of the bands. We got Jerry Harrison.
Yeah.
We got Tina Weymouth and Chris Franz.
Yeah. Chris Franz?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they split off and did the band, the Tom Tom Club.
The Tom Tom Club, which he let them do one song. It was their most famous, obviously, during the Stop Making Sense tour, and it made it to the album. It's a good live version. It's a good live version. I mean, all
started a label called Luwaka Bop. It's a great label. Where it's all like Brazilian music and whatnot. It's incredible. It's incredible stuff.
Is that how you say it? Because I was looking at that. I was like, wow, that's a
Luwaka Bop.
Luwaka Bop. Yeah. Luwaka Bop.
He also rides his bike around New York City.
LUAKABOP. In 1988, right? He's very eccentric. He was just on the Late Show with Colbert, and he's apparently performing something with him tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, I saw him 2 years before he did American Utopia on Broadway, and the tour. It was out in Tucson because I just happened to be at a friend's wedding in Phoenix, and I was like, we're driving 2 hours south. We're going to this, and everyone I went with, they're like, I have no idea who you're talking about. I was like, David Byrne, Talking Heads. I was like, Burning. And I said, Burning Down the House. I know that one. I was like, mother, you're going to really like it. And they're like, are you sure? I was like, yes, you're going to really like it. And all of them were like, that was amazing. Well, holy crap.
Okay, so if you think of the context, am I jumping ahead? Should I not jumping ahead? Can I get into it?
No. I want this to be loosey-goosey. Yeah, Pete has no idea about the things I talk about. I chose this on purpose.
What I admired about them is, look at those four. They could not be geeky. They could not be more of nerds, right? Like goofy nerds from Rhode Island, right? And so then they come into the context of CBGBs, which was the punk mecca, right? This is
1975, their first real outing.
Country, bluegrass and blues. It was a bar, and it was down on the Bowery, and his guy was Hilly. Don't tell me, I'll remember his last name, but give me a second. Just don't say that. So anyway, New York Dolls played there.
Country blues. CBG bluegrass. CBGB. Oh man, I'm so dyslexic. I was like CBGBs. It ends with a G. How could the last one be blues? Mother effer.
Fact check me. I'm good.
I didn't even look at that, and I just messed it up. Keep going.
And then Blondie came over. They were there.
And then Ramones, obviously.
I said New York Dolls already. Dead Boys. Richard Hell and the Voidoids. Television, and then these guys come into the scene, and so it was a dirty, grimy, like heroin infested, dark, like just a nasty ass club, right? And it was a perfect spot for them to, because it was gonna like go out of business. But Hilly Crystal, that was his name, And now they moved it. They actually moved it out to Vegas, like with everything, just like crass, and they made T-shirts and all the spirit of it's gone. But whatever, I digress. That's America for me. But then they come into the scene, and they could not have been more out of place, but they were perfect because like they were so white and they were funky. They weren't trying to affect a pose like they were rockers or they were like legit. Like the cool thing about them is they were legitimately themselves, and that hadn't really been done before.
We've talked about that, right?
That was what made them punk rock. Is like, he's an intellectual,
Yeah.
and he's hanging out with like Dee Dee Ramone, who is the furthest thing away from that, to put it charitably. And that's his charm too. But
yeah,
that's what they were saying then. Tom Verlaine for television was brilliant. They did Marquee Moon, which if you've never heard it, I'm not just saying that. It's one of the most brilliant albums undersung. But they said that it was okay to, well, they blew out the pomposity of prog rock in the 70s that was unapproachable. Like no one could relate to Emerson, Lake and Palmer, really. Or no, not the kids, but the Ramones you can relate to. They're a bunch of dudes that all wear like jean jackets and the bowl cuts and the jeans, or the leather jackets, and they play basically souped up girl group pop, bubblegum pop,
No.
Oh, look at that. Got a nice photo. And so
right,
Harrison,
yeah,
he's in the background. He went on to become a very famous music producer. He produced like Live and all those kinds of bands in the 90s, kind of that thing. And
I heard they wanted to be called Live, but people just read it and they kept on calling them Live, so they just went with it.
But they mended it up.
Oh no, I'm not talking about the Heads. I'm talking about Live. I thought they wanted to be called Live, but everyone read Live. They
were another band.
So
so that's funny.
Yeah. So right, I mean, like this is them trying to be edgy somewhat early on.
They're geeks.
And if people are seeing this on the YouTubes, for those on stereo, yeah. What do you see here? What just describe each.
I honestly think too. I think David Byrne's on the spectrum of some sort, kind of like in a brilliant way.
Yeah.
Like he's there and he's lucid, but when you see him talk and whatnot, he's doing like high mathematics in his head or something. You know what I mean? He's just that guy, and so that gets perceived as maybe aloof or and that's kind of how they were with him, because he's just kind of that dude. He kind of follows his muse. He's pretty naturally eccentric, really. It's not a cultivation.
I would expect so.
And they both three are not just normal, folks.
And you see even in this composition of this early on photo, it's the three of them, and then Dave. From Rhode Island, from Scotland, from Montreal.
What I loved about it was that he was subversive, because they're doing social commentary and stuff, but they're not blowhards about it. They were doing it to a dance beat, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
You would never. Tina Weymouth didn't even know how to play bass when they joined the band. They had a teacher. That was the fun part too. It's like, here you go, you play bass. And good.
Yeah. Oh, quite. They had.
I know what you were going to say, John. You can't be so sexy.
No. Her and her husband just released a book about them playing music together. Still, what is it, like 40 years, right?
Tom Howard was ahead of the curve as far as like they were the first ones to really kind of incorporate that African sensibility, the rhythms and stuff, in the pop sphere. But who came after
Paul Simon?
What's his face? Peter Gabriel and Paul Simon. They took it to the
Paul Simon. Oh yeah, Oh yeah, Gabriel too, for sure. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I always think of Paul Simon with that one. I'm like, it's good. It's good. It's good. I just got to. Okay, the music's good. Whatever. Cool.
Don't you say
anyway.
I swear to God, I'll find you. If I had hands.
Have you? Did you get to see them? Did you get to see Simon and Garfunkel?
No. It's like there's a couple
That's one of my prizes.
Yeah.
That is one of my prizes. I was able to see their final reunion tour
Actually,
out in
still
Arizona.
he's like 85 or 86, and he's still doing not just relevant stuff in a certain way as good as he's ever done.
Yeah,
Which,
and his son's playing with him now. The Stones, obviously.
Their final years are doing as good a work as they ever did. I think the only one I think of is like John Lee Hooker. Like his last couple albums were the best things he ever did.
Warren Zevon made some amazing albums as he knew he was dying.
Zevon story. He's born on my birthday. And
Nice.
I got a free ticket to see him in Pontiac, which is Pontiac. It's a suburb of Detroit, and it was a place called the Seventh House. And
the Motor City has a suburb called Pontiac.
Pontiac.
Never mind. Sorry. That's great.
Hey. The time for it. It was all the crack you can get, whatever. The Seventh House, and it's a very intimate place. It's probably seats about 100 people, maybe, but a really cool kind of a gypsy cafe type vibe. And I was stoked because my buddy worked in a record store and he got free tickets. So it was my birthday. So okay, cool. We're going to go over there, see Warren Zevon. And I didn't even know this, but we go and look in the corner, and there's like one little piano, there's an acoustic guitar, and there's a harmonica, and that's it. We're like, oh, it's going to be like that. So he comes out, and he just really tells stories all night. And then he goes, and it's my birthday. I'm like, oh, come on, get out of here. I was like, that was for me. Shout out to Warren Zevon. Enjoy every sandwich. That's all I got to say.
Enjoy every sandwich. Made David Letterman cry. Byrne did a whole lot of things and is continuing to do things. He's on tour now. His last tour was the gray one that he talked about that led into American Dystopia. That's one I got to see. And they brought out, they just had someone run across the stage with a footlight, a really big footlight, and then run off. And suddenly it made David Byrne's shadow fill the entire back of the stage. And it was amazing. And so why I keep on doing this is that image will never leave my mind. It was his hair flopping with the guitar, flopping back and forth, and he was doing shadow puppetry. I was like, this is freaking amazing.
Oh,
it's like, it's great. It's just fun.
Which if I couldn't recommend the book enough. And it's one of those things where, and I've had this experience a number of times where it's like so good that I put it down and like, well, I don't know if I deserve that. That's too good. I'm going to save it for a little bit, right? But he would write these things that if I didn't know better, I thought I wrote it, because he articulates these things that if you've been around music long enough and you consider some fundamentals of certain things, you kind of arrive at these things, right? But he has a real gift of saying it in a simple way. I always think of, if you can describe it to a drywaller, it's probably good. Like it's not an egghead, because he gets a rap of being like an egghead or an intellectual, and he is very smart, but he's also really relatable. He speaks in language that you can understand, and he moves, he dances, which I think is awesome. For your
the choreography, because the drummer had things strapped to him, and the keyboard is same thing. So everyone had a mobile instrument who was playing.
Doing like a conga line around the stage?
No, I never did that because he could do better. And he had two designated dancers. And so it was the three of them who he was singing, and they would dance with him. Everyone was in like a three-piece gray suit, no shoes, barefoot, and the sides of the walls were beads that were really well done. So when it was undisturbed, it looked like a wall, especially with the lighting, because it's a stage. And then they would walk in and walk out. And so it looked like they were just melting into the wall and then coming out of the wall. But they never stopped moving when the songs were playing. They would stop, bow, and be still for a second. He never spoke in between because you don't do that. But that was their rest. And then as soon as music started playing, everyone in the band and the two designated dancers, and obviously himself, were moving in some choreographed way. So there was no need for a conga line because that's boring choreography on a stage. He was doing amazing choreography, especially with the use of the malleable walls.
Right.
It was beautiful. It was theatrical. It was beautiful.
Simultaneously intrigued and also humbled because I've had this alter ego thing for years. Gray suit. I had 7 identical gray suits. Just wear the same. Did you wear that suit yesterday? No, that was.
No. That's in the cleaners. Well, now, so I saw for this tour they're doing bright blue as all their unified suits because he's like, the last one was about. I wanted to bring color into it, but yeah, how music works. Why?
Brian Eno. Brian Eno is a huge influence on him.
Oh.
Brian Eno is always about that. He's about the aesthetics. He was about the synesthesia. He's about the whole experience. He would do these prompts and stuff, but he produced one of his early solo albums, and they had a long-standing relationship. He mentions him a lot in the book. That's why I bring him up. Brian Eno was like the first ambient guy, really, who went on to do like U2 and major albums and all that. But him and Byrne have been closely associated. My Life in the Bush of Ghosts was his, I think, the first album they did together.
Oh yeah.
And it's excellent. It's like you listen to it and it's like it's not dated at all. It's so
that one I know through my friend Jeffrey, who is a much more of a music buff than I am, much like yourself. Probably, I'm going to say not as much, but has that deeper. And he introduced me to that one album, and it's no, it was like what.
But he would do Brian Eno would do these cool things where he'd have he would come into.
What was their main song of that album?
Well, it was never a commercial. I mean, it wasn't like a commercial thing. It was kind of a musicians thing, I don't think there was. There wasn't a single hit on it. It was more of like a.
I'm not going to look it up. Doesn't matter.
It was a concept album, but it was so ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
It was kind of. It kind of set the template for where he would go after that.
Oh. No, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking of commercial hit at all because it was just the one that my friend Jeffrey said, all right, well, listen to it in order. This one's, kind of my favorite. And then when I looked at it, because I went through Spotify for it, that one was definitely the one that was most listened to over time. But I wouldn't expect that it was like a big commercial on the radio hit at all.
I mean, it's like that was like one of the things he did. He was technically still in because the Stop Making Sense came out in '84, a Jonathan Demme thing that made them huge, right? But they were already pretty fractured by then. By the time they get into the '80s, it gets pretty hairy with Talking Heads and where they're at. But this album came out in '81, and it's so ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
One of those that's like kind of. There was like a couple albums that like Andy Summers from the Police did with Robert Fripp from King Crimson. There was 2 of them, and you would never. There's no reason why you would have ever heard them. I mean, I don't think anybody heard them, But you listen to them now, and they're like, man, they hold up. It's crazy.
So I just want to start. I bet others who have actually said it, and obviously there's so many who may not just be fully out with it. But the bands that have said they were directly influenced by Talking Heads, Radiohead, some of the biggest ones, right? 9 Inch Nails, LCD Sound System, Vampire Weekend, Paramore. I saw St. Vincent in 1975, and I know there's many, many more, but that's just, I was like, if I keep on going, I'm just going to because the Rolling Stone magazine called them the most influential band of the 1980s, possibly the later 20th century overall.
Really?
That was in 99, 2000.
I honestly wouldn't have drawn that thread. I wouldn't have drawn that. I wouldn't have. I mean, I understood their impact even at the time, but I don't really hear them referenced a lot. But I don't hear much of anything referenced anymore. We're in the apocalypse.
Well, right. Right, and what do you need to get rid of? Because you can control the other two if you are on a bent and you already have control. I'm just talking about in general. This is something I
Yeah.
taught in as an English composition teacher in college.
Well,
This is one
okay,
of my
there's a humble
lessons.
brag. Okay.
It's it's
La-ti-da.
well, that's why I said I will never cite Wikipedia. I already threw that one out there, so I'm just
All
bringing
right,
it
John,
back.
I'm impressed.
That's
I'm
what we
impressed.
call it.
Okay.
Three things you need. We've talked about it on the show. Three things you need to control in order. Once you're already a dictator of some sort, this is throughout the
Uh-huh.
centuries. Three
Yeah.
things you need to control to maintain your power. There's
The cocaine
only three
supply.
things. Once you have your no, that's contra
Oh,
ask. That's different.
okay. Okay.
No, but straight up. So military people say quickly, I'm like, no, you already have that because you're in power. So what are to maintain the people, what are the three things you need to fully control?
Water. Publishing. No, tell me. What
Publishing, press.
right?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's straight up.
And
Education,
right. And the hearts and minds of the populace.
which yeah, or the soul, because the soul is usually attributed to the arts,
Ooh.
and usually
I knew you were
dictators
gonna go there.
cannot
I knew
control the arts, so they try to squelch it. And so
Right.
what you do, the textbook over centuries, is you control press, which is pretty easy. You control education, which usually gets easy once you have the press. Or you already have the state. You're in. When you have those two, you need to squelch as much as you can the arts because arts are so unpredictable and
Right.
it can be
That's the hearts and
non-commercial
minds.
and still have anything. It's
And
the hearts
that's
and
why you
minds.
see
Exactly.
Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Tupac, all these cats, over and over again.
Lennon.
John Lennon.
Lennon. I mean, he was deported. He was on Hoover's tapes.
No.
They for some stupid reason Nixon
It's
was
not
like,
arbitrary that
he's
these weird influence like that.
a
You only have to go back to that one concert that Bob Marley did where he had the two political leaders' hands over his head,
yeah.
and then he was shot after that. But I'm sure that was a coincidence.
Marley? Well,
Yeah.
no, he died of a toe infection.
No, he
That's
was
what it
shot though
said.
after that for doing that. He was shot.
Uh,
He didn't die.
oh, I mean,
but he was shot.
he didn't die from it. Oh, right, yeah. Well,
And,
yeah.
and Peter,
I mean,
and it's now been proven that CIA took him out, and it's now been proven that Peter
Tosh?
was taking the FBI.
Tosh?
Absolutely, yeah, he was talking
That
about
one I didn't know.
because they had a lot of influence,
Oh, Tosh.
and
Tosh was great.
like over in like Zimbabwe, because there was a lot of dissent going on there. There was coups d'états and stuff, and they wielded huge influence over there, and in England actually. The pipeline from Jamaica to England was massive. That's where
Oh,
Bob
yeah.
broke first. I think his father was a British. I can't remember
Oh,
what it
yeah.
was. That's the lineage there. But he talk about having winning hearts and minds.
He had direct ties to England. I mean, because Jamaica was at the time, obviously a colony. But there is something, and I'm struggling with it, but I do remember that, and I haven't looked at Bob in that kind of way because I've been doing this before the show. I just look up things, and it's
I was
not on
busy
Wikipedia. Dub.
Dodging people's heart in the dead man's curve.
Oh, but what I remember something about that, and it's like what a newspaper. Bonk. His father was a newspaper writer for. Oh, I think this is it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. His father was a.
David Byrne now?
No. This is Bob Marley. His father, I believe,
I think
was
his father was like something to do with
an editor
votes or something.
of the newspaper that was meant for England. It was like the Jamaica Times, but it was published in England, and he was either one of the major writers or the editor
I
in
know he was a
chief of
captain.
it.
No, he was a captain at one point because I remember they had the big hat, and I don't think I ever met him that much. I think I might have met him once or twice.
Yeah, but I think there's something with that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I might be conflating
He was
a
English.
story, another memory.
He was Welsh too, so whatever.
Anyway, Okay, so what else? What else about freaking Talking Heads? So we've said
Well,
a lot.
Talking
Oh,
Heads.
there was a
Just leave it
2000,
alone. Let's go with the name. Let's talk about the name.
2000.
Name of the band.
Okay, well, it's the
It's a
people on
provocative
the
name.
TVs. It's you right now, Dub. I at least have hands and arms.
Hey,
I did the
Avatar
research
lives
of
matter.
these
Okay.
things
Okay.
specifically for
Okay.
you. Okay, okay, Bobby. Okay, Bob. Okay. Bup, 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 bup,
A
bup,
lot of
bup,
judgment
bup,
from
bup.
you. John, John.
Yes. Yeah. What do you want to say about the Talking Heads? Yes.
Well,
The
I just say
term.
the name is
It's
provocative
the
because
pundits. It's the yeah.
yeah, it's like well, that's what they called the newscasters with the chyrons over their shoulder who were spewing the CIA bullet. I mean, the corporate media bullet
Or
points
the
to the masses.
or the
No, that Peter Jennings and Dan Rather and Walter Cronkite were not CIA assets. Okay, just get that out of your head, John.
Good night and good luck. The guy who went against McCarthy.
Oh,
He,
yeah.
the start of CBS News. It was the very first start of CBS News, and he was like the first anchor. And I can't remember because
He was
there's
good. He had
Good
that
Night and Good Luck.
gravitas. That was that the McCarthy era?
It was. Oh, he went up straight up against McCarthy, and they attribute him to turning the public
I think
opinion tide.
George Clooney did a movie on him.
Yeah, he did, and it
Broadway.
was it on Broadway as well? Good Night and Good Luck. Oh, I guess it was. I didn't see it. I saw the movie. David Strathairn played him, and I can't remember his name. Anyway, he was a good one.
Like so much. I think I'm my Edward Murrow.
Edward Murrow.
That's who it's about. That's who that is. That was him.
Word. I didn't look it up. I don't know if you did or not because you were
No. Just
armless. You thought of it. Yeah, word. Yeah, word.
A movie with Jeff Daniels did one with him.
Daniels
back.
did a.
Yeah, in fact, Daniels is cool.
No, you're
But
thinking of the
Chelsea-
newsroom. You're thinking of
What's
the
that?
newsroom.
No, wait.
Wasn't
he
Jeff
was in- no,
Daniels
he
in
was
the
that
newsroom?
one. He was in the Good Night and Good Luck with George Clooney. Jeff Daniels was.
Oh, he just didn't play. Was it Murrow?
Right. Because that was the first trusted newsman, right? Then Walter Cronkite
Right.
came after.
And then Walter. Yep.
That was like at the time. What was the original Tonight Show guy was Alan. How was his name? Jack Parr. Jack Parr. And then Steve Allen.
Yeah.
And Johnny Carson.
Was it? I think there was.
Jack Parr was the first one.
Dick Cavett.
No, he had his
Or
own
was he
show
on a
though.
different show. He had his
Yeah,
own show. That was different.
That was a
Okay.
good show too.
And
He'd always get the
Ed
great
Sullivan.
Yoko and John all the time, or Hendrix all the.
All right.
He was really good. He was really affable.
Kerouac in his later years. Yeah.
My favorite thing from the original Tonight Show is Steve Allen playing the grand piano, and Kerouac comes out and like leans on the piano, and like it's like effortlessly this guy's playing piano like nothing. He's a talk show host, charming as can be, like literate, interesting. This is 1955. Oh, how far we've sunk. That's what we do.
Did you see this is the last thing I'm going to talk on this segment because we've the Talking Heads. I mean, we've said way too much about them. They don't deserve
No,
it.
we haven't said enough as far as I'm concerned. I'm just getting started. Shut up. I got more talking
I
to
know.
do.
The 2011 movie This Must Be the Place.
Yep.
Me too. So what's things you remember about it? I have stuff in front of me because I wanted to see that it was 2011 because I didn't know that.
What did you zero in on? What
You know what's so funny? So I saw that 10-ish years ago. 10-ish years ago. Not necessarily. But it was things that resonate with me. I will very much. There's 3 scenes that I can remember exactly what's going on. Oh, 4 now. That's fun. I like the lipstick scene in the elevator. I forgot that he was the whole thing. No, I knew it was Sean Penn, man. Come on.
Yeah,
And
I
Francis
know.
McDormand, like,
I wouldn't insult you like
and
that. Come on.
I loved how, and I looked at one thing. I got their tagline. That was it.
Was he trying
And
to
the
be like
year.
Robert Smith in that from The Cure? Was that what he's trying to do? His gothy thing there?
Straight up, he was. You know that,
Totally.
like the
With his
way he
pouty
looked.
lips and his little lipstick. Sean Penn's not an attractive
Well,
guy. Let's just say that. Come on now. And he's not an attractive
Roberts
woman
was
either.
not. Roberts was not the most attractive guy in the world
No,
either.
but hey, he could write a tune. He could write a tune.
But I brick him, and he's a good guy too. And he's a
Just
good
like I
guy
was.
too.
I am.
Oh man, don't
Oh,
like Friday. I'm on
come on.
that. That's the most.
Meandering.
But like,
Get to the point.
I mean the forest. I mean,
John L.
freaking.
Esquire.
Oh, there's so many good ones. What's the
What were you saying? Okay, so what hit
in
you about
between
it?
in between days, man? It's
I gotta
that
keep to the
one.
point. Come on, get back to the point here. There must
You
be
got to
points.
keep
I gotta
you
keep
got to
you
keep
on
me on
point.
point.
I
You
gotta
got
keep
you
you
are
on
you
point.
are you are you
I
keeping me
gotta
on
keep
point?
you on the guardrails.
Are you, are
John,
you,
you get
I don't see anyone.
unpredictable,
I
you're
don't see
wild.
anyone else here. I don't
What?
see anyone
No, no,
else
no, no,
here.
no,
Are you
no.
you are you
I need
you
you to
keeping
take
me
the
on
shirt
point?
down another button too while you're at it. It's alarming. It's a little disconcerting, but I'm secure in myself. I can handle it. Hell, I'm just a
Okay,
cartoon. What do I know?
so he is retired, like goth, total Cure style singer, super famous, just living off the residuals because he can, and married to Frances McDormand, who's a firefighter. And the scene I remember, she's like fixing the roof, and he's
Yep.
like, I gotta go to America to do something with my father. And she's like,
Yeah.
all right, so, all right, husband. Okay, cool. And she's so manly in it, and he's so feminine in it. And they're married, and they have a loving, like, it's not,
I
there's
can't. I
never,
just.
like, a thought
I was
of, like,
quoting her earlier though.
I
She's always from
loved
Arkansas.
it.
Oh yeah, there. Absolutely. Oh, from Fargo.
Oh,
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 Francis
I'm gonna
McDormand there.
puke. Oh,
Oh, we got the
oh, I'm gonna
Minnesota
puke.
accent there. Oh yeah, absolutely.
No,
Oh sure.
never mind.
Oh,
It
it's a little
passed.
bit nasally. It's a little bit clipped.
Yeah, the pregnant cop. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna puke. Ooh.
Oh,
Oh
dear.
no,
Oh
it
boy.
passed.
Oh golly.
Uh,
Jeez.
he's the thing I forgot is the whole reason why he leaves is to go like track down some guy who humiliated his dad in World War II as his dad's about to die, and that's his whole journey. That's his
Sounds a
hero's
little bit
quest.
like, man, he's on the
And I was
edge of
like,
like, I don't know. He was a
it
little
was a good
much.
movie.
It was a good movie,
Yeah,
but you
I
know what I
see.
mean? Like,
I'm now, I'm now believing that you might not have seen it, and that's fine. Or if you have, you haven't remembered a whole lot, but that's totally cool. Because it's a weird, it's an obscure movie. It just happens to be the
maybe it's
title
me.
is
Maybe I've got
one of their songs. This must be the place, and David Byrne happens to make himself a little cameo as David Byrne because he's a retired musician, and David Byrne has this
Are you gonna take me? I mean,
invention.
if you want to take it there, I'll take it there with you. But we don't need to do this.
Oh no! I'm saying these are the moments I remember because you asked me that question. That was another one. He has this
And that's one.
invention.
I think arguably their best song, one of their best songs ever. Was
It
that.
is. Oh, it's so good. It's just so good.
It's a
The
naive
night.
melody,
What is it?
but
The
I like
naive.
it.
Yeah. There's a pilot. Just a random conversation with a pilot, and I just love that the actor. He was in Alien and Green Mile and a couple other things, and you see his face. And I even looked him up, but I didn't write it down. But he was so good. That scene is so good. His scene is so good, and I don't want to say anything about that scene because it's just a conversation. I like over a cup of coffee or something. But it's so
I
good. It's
saw him
such a
like at an
fucking good
art
scene.
house theater. That didn't get a major release. That wasn't like a big release.
Oh no! I saw it rented from the or borrowed from the library.
Yeah, it kind
But
of blew up.
the women in the freaking elevator who were talking about how to keep your lipstick on and from smearing on a thing. And he's like, it's not about the product. They're talking for a while, and he's just in the back of the elevator. He's like, ladies, it's not about the product. It's after you put it on. Before you put it on, you just put a little bit of baby powder on your lips, and then apply the lipstick, and it will never come off. And they're all, and then he walks off. And it's like, that's fantastic. It's just
You know who
they're just the
he
random scenes.
Harry was
Uh,
Bono's daughter.
Mary.
She played Mary in the movie.
Oh,
Whatever.
yeah. Yeah, it was just right. Yeah. David Byrne was in it.
Anyway,
But the tagline, the whole reason why I went to IMDb, that's all, folks, is the tagline is Cheyenne, a retired rock star living off his royalties in Dublin, returns to New York City to find the man responsible for a humiliation suffered by his recently deceased father during World War II. And I love those taglines. It's so stupid. It means nothing. And I was like, I don't remember part of that because the movie itself was not about that. But that's what the tagline was.
And I'm trying to remember. Do you remember when the Tree of Life came out? Because around that time, wasn't it? Because
2011.
That is one of my favorite movies of all time. It is a very divisive movie. It's very divisive. You either love it or you hate it. But I think they came out at the same time, and I think that kind of overshadowed this movie.
Yeah.
Because I had
yeah.
it was 2011. It was 2011, same year. Look at that. Mind like a trap.
It's like those movies that did.
It was a Terrence Malick movie, and it's like probably the deepest movie you will ever see. It like almost breaks the grounds of like reality or something. Like you take cinema as far as you can go with it, and that's too much for certain people. Like it's too much. It's too heavy or pretentious or whatever they want to say. But he's like dealing with like the cosmos and stuff. But so Sean Penn can go to that, and I love how he's like this brooding, weird, like tortured character in that. And then this other one was kind of a lark, you know. It's like when he did I Am Sam or something. It's like, okay, you never go full retard.
Well, I mean, he tried. I think he was trying to emulate. Not in the exact
actor.
thing that he was.
He's a great director, but he does a few stinkers in the bunch.
Tom Hanks. Like I think he was trying to go that route. Like I saw him, I was like, I think you're doing a weird impersonation of Tom Hanks's Forrest Gump, but not exactly for what Forrest Gump.
Well, who would have thought it? Like on their bingo card in '85 when he was married.
Why Forrest Gump was Forrest Gump?
Like, you know, he was just beating the hell out of like photographers and stuff.
Did he? He was just nominated. No, he didn't win it, but people thought he was going to win. He was just nominated for another Oscar for the One Battle After Another.
I would recommend The Tree of Life to you if you haven't seen it, but I wouldn't recommend it.
I haven't. All right.
And I mean that, because it could be very divisive. I mean that. But it's like if you give yourself over to it, which you would be want to do, then I think you'll have your mind blown.
I mean, well, it's such a fantastic movie, and I hadn't seen it until somewhat recently, and which means like 3-4 years ago. But what is it? State of Glory? State of Grace.
Oh yeah.
This is from the 80s, like Gary Oldman and Ed Harris and John Turturro, an early one of him, and I think John C. Reilly. I think it's his very first. Robin Wright and Sean Penn's the lead in it, and it's like it's about the Hell's Kitchen Irish gang. It was so good, and I was like, that's that or Into the Mystic. I think are my favorite of his.
River, right? Or was it
Mystic River? What was it?
Mystic River. I think he directed it too. No, Clint Eastwood directed it. He starred in it.
No, the Mystics of Lakeville. I think it's Into the Mystic. No, that's
Van Morrison. Come on now.
That's Van Morrison, but it's isn't the Mystic itself.
Mystic River was him because he was starred in it.
I thought it was
Clint
a
Eastwood
lake.
directed it.
Oh, Clint Eastwood.
2003.
That was a good.
Hard to believe. It's 23 years.
Yeah,
ago.
with
You're so old, man.
with Tim Robbins, man. I'm 173. I told you that.
It's like 1 degree is
he was
separation. Oh, we got another comment there. We got a nice here. We got Greg Dudas. We got Tin Whiskers. We got Dr. Dixon Mason. We got Foxy. We got Worm. We're rapping. We're flapping our jaws. We're
let's get that last one for now. We'll speed ahead and get into that green room.
Here we go.
Hey, what up, John? What up, John?
What up?
What up, Dove? What up, Worm? I see you.
Anyway, wrong turn.
Oh yeah, U-turn.
Straight crackhead. Like it got so ridiculous. That movie was so
I think it was
ridiculous,
U-turn.
but it was so entertaining. Sean Penn made that movie what it was.
Jennifer Lopez was in that.
There was like
U-turn, 1997.
I'm saying 2, 3, and 4. I think he was in the second one, but nothing else.
I'm gonna need you so, bro.
The first one was gold, though. I mean, you have to admit it. And he did go completely to the wow.
That's a great movie. It was on the desert. I think it was on your parts, huh? Your guys' Arizona. I think that U-turn. Am I quiet?
No, sorry, I had to come back in because yes, exactly. That's Superior, Arizona, where you can get one of the best enchiladas I've ever had in my life.
John, could you put
Superior,
your
Arizona.
We don't know each other like that yet. Okay.
They sued. The city sued the movie producers and lost because of how they depict the people of Superior, Arizona.
Superior,
All right.
Arizona. Oh, here's a tasty tidbit. In Michigan, there's two parts of Michigan. There's the Lower Peninsula and there's the Upper Peninsula. And the Upper Peninsula is full of Yoopers. That's what they call them. They're Yoopers. They sound like the Minnesota folks there, right? They call themselves the Yoopers. And they wanted to secede from Michigan and call it Superior. There you go. You didn't know that, did you? There's deer, where the men are men and the sheep are scared. That's what we got up there. A lot of meth, a lot of good times.
Good times.
Old little town of Bethlehem. We got
Old little town of Bethlehem.
We have
Songwriter extraordinary.
Sean Penn's been in some great movies. Carlito's Way. He's in Risky Business with Tom Cruise. That's a little nugget right there too. And of course,
Milk. Oh yeah. Milk.
Phoebe's
twin sister for like an episode or two or something.
Greg, how do you know this?
Great fucking actor. Actually, like the Sam movie, I thought he did great in that movie as well. It's not the easiest game to play.
No.
You know what I mean? That role.
No, you went full retard.
Yeah, let's talk.
He's also got one.
Into the Wild. What?
One Step Down Another or something that just came out.
Okay.
Like last year or something like that too. Yeah, I think he was nominated or something for that one.
You know what he doesn't get credit for a lot? Do you ever see that 21 grams? That was, that's your soul weighs 21 grams.
It was on our part, Doug. And furthermore, this Tuesday night, like this is the night that we're supposed to try and get drunker
you're right.
than
That's
the
a good point.
Tuesday pod. And apparently, nobody's drinking tonight. I haven't seen anybody.
What? We done a couple.
And furthermore, I knew you were a motherfucking perplexity.
What?
Come on, man.
What? Oh, no, I'm just setting it straight out of love, bro. No, I was gonna say that. Like, you're either not drunk enough or you're not drunk enough. Right? It's not blacking out, it's time travel. Let's go. Go big or go bigger.
Fun fact about me in the I don't know, middle of the late 80s, in the 80s, I lived in the LP, not the UP.
Lower Peninsula. Mount Pleasant.
I lived in the LP, and I pretty much all over it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did. Like 13.
Whereabouts? Yeah, it's 5 miles.
Yeah, it's 5 miles. The two.
Second Bridge.
And I
thought
we were about to go. I mean, I didn't think we were on crack. I was like 5, 6.
Right.
But I thought they had a death wish. I thought that we were all about to die. That Mackinac Bridge.
Yes.
Fuck you.
I'm having serious deja vu.
I'm having serious deja vu.
So yeah, that's 5 miles long. Many people died building it. I think that's the biggest or longest bridge in America. Not sure. Mackinac Island's over there. UP, LP.
Oh, for sure. The Verrazano is the longest suspension bridge, which includes
you know how you
Golden
remember the
Gate.
Great Lakes? With an acronym. Holmes. Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, Superior. You're welcome.
Also, hands. Well, I've been called
Let's do a
out, so
shot,
I
just
think we need to have a shot too.
Let's pander to the audience. That's what we'll do. I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool like Pete. No, I'm not. What am I calling? There we go. Dink, dink, dink. I'm doing absinthe ayahuasca. Nice heady brew. Why is my hand empty?
Well, that is leading us into our next recognition and resonance.
Lightning round.
Recognition and we don't talk. Recognition and resonance round. Our second recognition and resonance round. Oh, I like the
you're
alliteration.
Only sick as your secrets, and you are sick, my friend.
Well, this recognition and resonance round segment is one of your favorites and mine, and I believe it will be of our friend Dubs here very soon because it's the editorial dick. For those at home, for those at home who don't remember or haven't heard, the editorial dick segment is where I lead Dub along on this horrible path by reading actual headlines and only headlines and without any facts or figures. Even if you know what the story's about, you just editorialize. It's 100% your own opinions.
Do I get increasingly cantankerous as we go along?
You decide that depending on the headlines and how they hit you.
As I get
no, this is the headlines, baby.
Okay,
and so you take the headlines you get a headline, you respond to it, and so it's not about the messenger. You're not killing the messenger on this one. You can kill him later or before, but for this one, your ire or your favoritism, whatever it is, however you respond,
when in doubt,
is all you with this.
If I've learned nothing from the two-sided podcast, somehow, some way, it's your fault.
Right? Somewhere in the world, my boy Pete just got a little smile on his face.
I'm just pandering to him right now. He knows I'm doing it too. It's obsequious, but he will love it. He'll relish it. I'm just kissing his ass for no reason. There's nothing to be gained there, honestly.
So I'm gonna. Hey, do you mind if I call you my boy
Bud?
Dub?
Yeah, or Bud, because it's my alter ego tonight. Whatever, my boy Dub. Okay.
But I'm Bud. I'm.
You are.
But I'm.
This is it, everybody.
Do you mind if I call you Bud? Oib, I'm.
You're peacocking on me. Whoa.
Well, it's since you switched Dub into Bud.
Sure.
It's
You're going back.
Bud Oib, I'm. But I'm. Yeah. See, it's kind of hard to do it. All right. My boy Dub, are you ready for your first headline?
I'm ready. I am.
All right, first headline: Why Ben Shapiro's media empire is collapsing?
Because he is a useful idiot to the Zionist movement, and also he's going to start a hand puppet theater in Springfield, Missouri. Do shadow puppets on the wall.
So why is it collapsing? Why Ben Shapiro's media empire is collapsing? Yeah, that's the whole point.
Does not understand the narrative, and he is easily bought and co-opted, and he's disingenuous. Is why. Because he has a great deal of intelligence. He could wield a lot of good influence, but he chooses to be a useful stooge to powerful figures, and it's not working because people can feel the inauthenticity of it. And what is a Christian Zionist anyway? I don't want to get inflammatory, but it's bullshit. It's what it is. And he's like he stepped in when Charlie Kirk got assassinated. He's trying to be like the golden boy for Israel now, and like after a while, nobody cares. You know, he's not. Who's he talking to? Who's he appealing to? He moves to Nashville, and all he ever talks about is Israel. That's fine, but we've got our own issues, and I think people are tired of it because he's an ideologue. He's like, it's too much. It doesn't feel reasonable.
Well,
he
and
intelligence, and he has an agenda, and he does it, and he does some dirty dealings, and people have found out about it. That's why, and he got too big too. He grew really big.
Right. And so you were saying like he kind of stepped into what he perceived as a void that he could fill after Charlie Kirk,
totally
right? But
Kelsey
before that,
did.
he was, but he was not like that wasn't his main thing, right? He was doing
before
anything
that, it was
that
like
he
the dark web thing. Like, he was kind of aligning himself. There was like the Joe Rogan, Weinstein's, Jordan Peterson. He was kind of fashioning himself as a Sam Harris type intellectual.
He said he felt personally attacked by the movie Barbie. He said that is not a quote, obviously a paraphrase, but he said he was personally attacked.
You could stick
by
a
the
lump
movie
of coal in
Barbie.
his ass, and it would be a diamond in like an hour.
Anyway, the second one is, and it's Greek. So hold on. Tukadides. Tukadides. What is? Sorry, that was me practicing. What is the Tukadides trap, and why did Xi Jinping mention it in his meeting with the president?
Why did he mention it?
Yeah, and what is it? Now this is actually the headline. This was not necessarily a question to you.
Okay,
It's the headline.
Again, so I get what you're saying here.
What is the Tukadides trap, and why did Xi Jinping mention it in his meeting with our current president?
Well, for the very obvious reason, because you better learn Mandarin or Cantonese, because it is now about to be the Chinese century, and it's going to be a shift of power on the global stage. And I'm going to tell you exactly why he said it. I'm going to tell you exactly what he said, and I wasn't even there. He said, "We're taking Taiwan, and this is the day we're going to do it, and you're not going to do anything about it because you're overextended with Iran. You're screwed, bud." You didn't see any bloviate from Trump there. So what is the trap?
Right. Oh, do you? So the trap is it's an ancient Greek.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's an ancient Greek. Tukadides.
It's like when there's an exchange of power.
Well, the trap is like when the superpower or the big power sees another thing growing, it sees it as a threat, which creates the imminence of war. That's the trap, right? It's like, oh, they're getting big. They might get too big that they're going to threaten us, so we have to threaten them first.
It's the same old thing. It's like history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. And if you want to boil it down to that, Xi looked him in the eye and said, "Look, we've been playing the long game for a long while. They're very patient. We're not." And actually, here's another little tasty tidbit for you. Every empire has ended in 250 years or less. Guess what this year is?
We're overdue. It's not necessarily empires, but before this experiment, as Ben Franklin said, began. It was the Roman Republic, and they didn't last 250, and so we are older than the oldest, longest running republic, democracy or democratic republic. We are older than. Well, that's the empire, or shifted into the kingdoms of the many kingdoms of Italy that were then unified weirdly and kind of roughly, but without war.
One point here. What happened this last weekend with that meeting?
Yeah,
that will go down in the history books as when it all changed. Right there. That'll be that weekend. When the exchange became official? Now they're only worried about the optics. What's that?
Why do you think that?
I'll tell you. There's many reasons why. So Israel is trying to become the greater Israel. So they're trying to seize the power of Iran. There's 17 major figures around the world that says there's no nuclear program there. That's a ruse. Also, we're getting our ass handed to us there. Also, Trump is like, he's bankrupting us, right? He's doing that. China knows this. And then, so there's the signals that are going on. If you watch the signals of what they're doing, so he's going after Jerome Powell. Well, Jerome Powell answers to who? The Federal Reserve, who answers to who? The Bank of International Settlements. That's in Switzerland. That is where all policy is dictated from in the West. What do I mean by that? Go to the website. It is the central bank for central banks. So when they trot out their spokesperson once a year and they say blah, 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 everything goes from there. The World Economic Forum, International Monetary Fund, all of that, right? China has been waiting patiently to watch us like slit our own throat. And we are, because Trump will fall for all of it. Netanyahu wants him to go into Iran. He does it, right? Why? Because he's being promised a lot of money. Here's what I'm going to tell you the exact reason why now. This is the exact reason. United Arab Emirates, the Shah there, he's the one that's giving Trump all the money right now. He's giving him $4.1 billion last year in Bitcoin. Trump has made more money last year than every single president in the history of America combined. That was last year. Okay. And he gets it from there. And what is that guy doing? He's playing China off of us. Why? Here's where it gets really interesting. The central banking cartels, going back to the 1700s, have always been bloodline. It's always bloodline. It goes from the Sicilians, which is Rome, which goes to London, the Bank of England. The royal family are not just figureheads. They are the bankers of the world with Israel. And Washington is an extension of that. Okay. I'll hold this in place. Here's what you're really asking. Whoever gets control and monetizes artificial generative intelligence will rule the world, literally rule the world. Because whoever is the banking institution that monetizes it, and right now China has 2 AIs that have machine learned off of all of our AIs. Okay. And what do they want more than anything? They want Taiwan. And that has all the microchips in the world. And if you don't think that matters, people are like, well, we can make some here. No, you can't. Every single thing that we do and use, everything has that. And they're just waiting. They have 11 soldiers for every one of ours. If there were to be a hand-to-hand battle with China, you have about a 37-minute life expectancy. They have the power that they wield is incredible, but they're so enmeshed in us. It's not a Cold War thing, but it looks like that. They make it look like that.
Well,
but what they,
in that same meeting,
it's like our time has come.
Well, right. In the meeting, he during the public meeting, not the like, hey, let's step aside outside of cameras and let me tell you. But it was, Taiwan is a major issue, and if you go against what we are saying is there could be a major conflict where there hasn't been before,
and you don't want one.
He was saying that publicly. Those are quotes from him. So
he's shaming him.
Yeah,
looked into his eyes. He's like, "You ain't gonna play your games with
me." And he used an ancient but frequently used by major political figures throughout like the last 10 even years of every time I look at it, it's like THUCYDIDES, but it's pronounced
the trap. Thucydides.
Thucydides. Jeez, he was the philosopher who wrote about it in ancient Greece, right? And it was Athens and Sparta. It was the example he was using. But it just like looking at his name just messes me up.
People wonder, it's like, here's the problem. Here's what World Economic Forum does. They do problem, reaction, solution. And so the trap is what? The trap is when a new power grows, the old power feels threatened.
Yep.
Reaction.
And that
what? The old power tries to stop the new one.
And that creates an act of war.
So I'm saying you got to watch the signals. So the signals, this is strategy stuff.
And he said that all publicly. He said, you were talking about the stuff that he probably, but he said that all publicly.
That's a great point of putting that towards that because it's the subversion from within. So for instance, I'm just going to give you this point. J.D. Vance goes over there and he has a negotiation with Iran, right? And it was a quote unquote failure. That was intended on being a failure. It was a big FU to Trump to make him look weak and ineffectual, and it worked because they want to Trojan horse Trump, and they want to have JD Vance come in behind him. Who's they? Peter Thiel and the PayPal mafia. That's the reason why he's there. That's the reason why he's there. Think about that. Because once that happens, Palantir gets all the contracts, and they're working in coordination with China. Elon Musk has 7,000 employees in China. They're not adversarial to us, but they will be calling the shots now. But the way they're going to do it now, it's going to be different because they're going to have the optics.
It's economic.
Like, well, America's still a superpower and all that, but look, our dollar has no value. No. Right. So they want to put it all into digital currency, which is what? Then the surveillance state comes into play. And that's going to happen by November, the superintelligence here. So it's all right on time. So what Xi was telling him is like, this is what we will be doing, and this is what you're going to say, and there are no questions needed to be asked, and this is what's going to happen. Guaranteed.
Well, here's a little more.
This is where the tide turns forever. What just happened last weekend.
Here's a little more fuel for you. President moves to admit 10,000 more white South Africans as refugees. That's the next headline.
I'll just throw that in there, huh? Yeah, it's a little sprinkle of some spices, huh?
I got one more after that. We were only on 2. Remember, I always do choices. 4.
Mandarin or Cantonese.
So this is a huge shift in his refugee policies. He has deported some
can I tell you
refugees
something that evolved in my thinking?
people.
Because I used to be a political hound. Like when I was a kid, like I was in college when I was in high school. I was in honors like government classes at the college.
Oh, AP, right? The AP classes.
Yeah, they had one of those programs where you could do all that, and so I was obsessed for a long time, and then I got wildly cynical and I found drugs. No, I see what it is. Then what
drugs found you. That's fine.
But I used to think the thing in my mind, and even in the last 5-10 years, was maybe it's kind of an East versus West thing. Maybe there's alliances being forged with Russia and India and China and against us. Here's the deal: there's no East. There isn't. China pretty much owns Africa. If you go and look at the GDP of every nation in there, it's China. All the military is there.
And they're working on South America as well.
Right. And they're also going to come here next. And so what they're going to do is they're going to devalue the dollar. Already did it. And once
and that's all economic, right? We're not talking like that China has colonies there or anything. They just have such economical ties to major corporations and even governments of many different countries of the continent of Africa. That they are very much in control of Africa through economics purely.
Think about this. In America, there are 8 cities with 10 million people or more. Okay.
Yeah.
There's 150 in China.
Yeah.
And then also here's the other thing. And I think if they dig up the rubble from this civilization, like a couple thousand years from now, and say what happened to these folks, they're gonna point to this part, the ghost cities that they built and then imploded. So around 2002 to 2008, when the crash happened, China was building cities that could theoretically house 10 plus million people, right?
Okay.
To have the construction going. That's why they become like the zombie capitalist thing that they've become now. They went from in the last 30 years. I think that's why everything got accelerated in the world, because no one anticipated their surge in the way that it came on in the last 30 years. Because like in 1990, like 80 some odd % of the populace was literally rice farmers. And that is not the case now at all, right? So they built these cities, and I'm talking skyscrapers. It would be like you would go down like downtown Tokyo and there's nobody there. And then a couple years ago, go look at it. You can see these videos on YouTube. They imploded all the buildings. They built them. They were standing for about 10 years. No one ever lived there. And then they blew them up. That right there crystallizes our civilization right there. That says it all.
I heard about the accelerated infrastructure.
Yeah.
And we were like, hey, you're kind of putting a whole lot of pollution into the air. As,
they got bullet trains, and we've got like
probably
falling bridges.
Or something. And they're all, yeah, but you guys did that 100 years ago, and we're just, and so we're just doing what you did,
Yep.
80 years ago, and
They get
so
up
you
before you.
cannot
They go to
blame
bed after
us,
you.
right? But we're building our infrastructure just like you
Yep.
did in the industrial era,
They got the
right?
long
And
view.
so we're
We don't
just
do
doing
that.
that. We're just a little bit later, so you can't blame us. Screw you. And they kept on doing
No,
it.
what we
And
do
then I
is we
heard
just settle
that,
into three. The corporate CEO needs
well,
to make
right.
3,000% more than the lower guy.
All right, all right, all right. So nothing on the white South African refugees, the 10,000 more that he wants to. Let's go to the last headline. Last headline is why Stephen Colbert thinks late show cancellation, quote, saved his life.
Because he's probably tired of being a sellout. He wants to get back to being funny. Because he was hilarious when he did the Colbert Report.
Oh yeah, it was pure satire.
It was brilliant.
He could not do
And then he
anything
became
but
like a
satire.
suit for like the powers that be on that show. And it's like I think it's and Strangers was Candy was killer. I think he really sold himself out, and I think he knows it. I honestly believe that. That's my opinion on that.
Strangers with Candy, I think, was before Colbert Report.
It was, and that was brilliant too. I'm saying,
brilliant. Oh, I thought you said killer. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it was brilliant. Oh, him as the principal was. He's well, I mean, he made a choice.
He's a brilliant guy,
and he
really
said
funny,
something.
also a sellout.
What? See, and okay. I watched him for a while, and I agree. There was a moment, and then he made that choice, and he talked about his own network. No, he talked about his network, saying, and he was like, to me, I don't know what it is, but to me, it smells like a big fat bribe. 3 days later, he was canceled, and so that was that moment. And since then, he slowly, in this past week and a half, I've watched every episode, and yeah, dude, right. David Letterman was on. Watch that episode, if nothing else. Watch the David Letterman. It is anarchy. There's a moment where I'm like, holy crap!
That's the
really?
tragic part.
That's
the guy can be
fantastic.
Funny. He sucks on that show. You can't say that he doesn't suck.
So if you like the old Colbert. Oh, gorgeous! So much that certain people thought it was real because it was pure satire.
The correspondence dinner.
The correspondence.
George W. up to his face.
Oh man! And he referenced that one. He's like, yeah. So that was a moment because he was talking about the most recent one.
He's doing the mental gymnastics of pretending like he's Rush Limbaugh.
Right in. No, well, I mean, Papa O'Reilly, so I know that, and Rush as well, but like he definitely the biggest emulation was he called him Papa O'Reilly, but Rush was definitely in there for sure, yeah, because he had those terms like
he's doing those mental gymnastics and he never misses. You can watch him do the math.
So good, so that I would recommend if you like the one.
Sorry, but I'm just really disappointed in him. That's me.
Just okay. But boom, he did something that wasn't a sellout, and then he got canceled. And for a while he tried to maintain, but talked about it every once in a while. So you get like a couple of clips, and then this past 2 weeks, and just watch the Letterman one. If you like that, go back to like 2 or 3 episodes before, and this last one, Mondays. Ooh, that was and it was just him. It was just like, holy crap, he's feeding food to his oh man, it was just
and also
there you are.
The whole forum. That happened to the whole forum though. Everybody kind of capitulated like that in the late night forum because the internet passed them by. It's not relevant.
I mean, and Fallon is the one who easily was like,
I could just long form podcasts.
I could just smile.
Substantial and they're good, and then you go on a talk show and you got to have it all tight in 7 minutes. It's just it's not.
Yeah, it's relevant. But so that's a bigger thing, right? But I think you're right. I think it's
that whole form's going away.
Well, there's so a second episode, if you like the Letterman one, is watch the Strike Force 5 because it's the other major players, John Oliver, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, and Seth Meyers, who are all the other 4 are his guests for the entire episode.
I mean, they're still going along, but they're not all doing that.
Yeah, but But the funny thing is, like back in the day, any talk show host, they were competitors. They hated each other, at least publicly. These guys did a
I think
podcast
Conan
during
united all of
the
them.
strike.
Conan really galvanized them.
I'm surprised Conan. He might be on the last episode. The last episode is this Thursday, by the way. That's the very last episode of. So Letterman being on Letterman. If you're a fan of Letterman, him being on, me too. Oh yeah. So he created the whole show, and so him being on, he talks about like this is my, like yeah, you did it for 15 years. Good for you. He's like, this is my show.
Well,
that they're doing this for
David Letterman
nothing.
to him is Johnny Carson to David Letterman.
Oh, or to Jay Leno, right? Johnny Carson to Jay Leno. Like, you want to do that, right?
No.
Or even to Letterman.
Hero is Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson.
Oh, he was supposed to be. He was supposed to be the next.
Right.
And then Leno came around.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh no, they screwed him over.
Contracting that, but I'm saying that Stephen Colbert treated Letterman like Letterman treated Carson. That was a zero.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%. And Letterman's rarely around, but he didn't. Carson did him dirty. He was supposed to be. He had guest hosted. He was supposed to be the successor. And then this is upstart. Hey, what's going on?
Well, Leno's a scumbag, by the way. And
he is a
Brandon
scumbag.
Tartikoff, like he sold him out. Really, he did him.
No, it wasn't.
Power that he could have asserted himself.
He could have. Right. That's the thing.
That's
right. He didn't make the decision. He was like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be."
He's
and they're
not
like,
my
"No,
decision.
no, no."
Shut up. Like he didn't have more power than Brandon Tartikoff.
Hey, what's going on here?
But
he was a tough guy, like in his personal life. Like he was great on the show, but
no, that's way too far. Let's go back to Letterman. So the whole show started from kind of the Carson show screwing him over, and that's the reason why late night or the late show, right? Which one is it? It's one or the other.
Right.
Because they were just we'll just
late night with David Letterman on NBC. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why it started, and then
all in the theater.
He had it. The historic. Oh, it's so beautiful. I've been on there twice.
Beautiful.
It started, and it was so long with Letterman. He was an era. He was an era.
93 started there, I think. Yeah.
And then Stephen Colbert got it for 15 years, and then instead of saying we're going to go to another host, which is what they normally do when they just want to get rid of someone, like with Letterman, he was retiring. He'd been there long enough, but right, Kimmel. If the studio didn't, if ABC didn't back him, they could have been like,
Ferguson was getting groomed, but then
something like, right, yeah, right, yeah. But they just canceled it, and Letterman's like, cool. Everything basically I started because I was supposed to be the Tonight Show.
Yeah, but what do you expect? That's corporate culture for you, baby.
Yeah, no, and so that's why that episode. Please watch it. And those listening, I'm not just saying this just a dub. I realize other people are listening. I just came back to it. Holy crap, we're doing a show right now, Dope. What? I forgot about that. Hey, let's do our short. Do you remember what the short is?
Nair? For Nair? Is it for Nair? Light?
That's all right. So the short is segment. I put on a timer for 5 minutes after reading a headline, and we talk for 5 minutes. The alarm goes off, and
that you're wearing shorts. What's that all about?
Don't worry about the shorts. Why do you keep on talking about the shorts? Are you ready for the headline and for me to start the timer?
I am ready.
All right. So I always say the headline before the timer. It is the headline is. It's always from a single source. 5 minutes.
Boom,
boom.
I gotta tuck on my ear. What do I gotta do?
You just you listen if you need to chime in, and I'll give you moments when I think you might want to. Oh, I know. We might get through 2 sentences, but the headline before the thing starts is the Citizens Alliance of Idaho pledge. All right, and Sorry. Today was voting.
Let me
No,
go.
I'm gonna. And this is so. This is today was voting day for the primaries of Idaho from the Citizens Alliance of Idaho website. That's my single source. Quote: Citizens Alliance of Idaho is an advocate for our shared Idaho values, regardless of party affiliation. That's because all of our actions revolve around the pledge 10 simple commitments inspired by the Idaho State Constitution and the U.S. Constitution. When an Idaho lawmaker signs the pledge, they promise to uphold the following. Now I can start with the 10 things.
You right now, he'd be apoplectic that you're talking about Idaho. It's not relatable, John. What is your problem? My God. He would be scathing, like he's tearing you apart right now. You know that.
First part, first five. As an Idaho legislator, I will, one, vote to support our protected right to self-defense. Two, that's the very first one. Vote to support individual medical freedom and privacy. Three, vote to support election integrity. Four, vote to support expanding education freedom. Five, vote to support our protected right to due process. That's the first five. Next, as an Idaho legislator, I will not, this is all the pledge. I don't know what you want. Vote to suppress the speech of citizens or their ability to peacefully assemble. Two, vote executive government lockdowns of businesses, churches, and non-profit organizations. Three, vote against wise and well-directed bills that protect the life and innocence of all children. Four, vote for wasteful spending bills and tax increases that expand government beyond rates of growth. Five, will not do. Yeah. So the first five were four. As an Idaho legislator, I will not, or the last four. Number five is vote to give any new power to the federal government.
You know, the Idaho folks are a hearty brand of people. They're excellent people. You ever been there?
Yes, my mom has a bed and breakfast there. I used to summer there. Yes, yeah.
So
In Preston, Idaho.
How far north?
Where no, not far at all. Preston, Idaho is about 10 miles north of the Utah border, about 20 miles from Logan, Utah, where some of my family still is.
First of all, northern Idaho is as gorgeous as anywhere in America, period. It'll blow your mind.
All that area is.
About Idaho, it's just so epic. It's gorgeous.
The area of southern Idaho where we were, it was part of an offshoot of the northern Rocky Mountains. Like it's all so beautiful.
Outside of maybe Oregon, maybe is a close second, but they have more survivalists, more preppers, more like hardcore, hardy. Like they're ready for the insurrection, ready for the whole thing.
Northern Idaho has some people call them neo-Nazis.
Not just that though, but they also have like the
but they also have just a straight up survivalist. Right. They got their 2-year supply. There's a lot of Mormons there. 2-year supply is a thing.
Yeah. I mean, there are freaks and stuff there, but they're like, man, there's some hardy sorts there. Like those people can do things. They will survive.
They're right next to Montana and eastern Washington.
I can't recommend it enough. I had no idea.
Hardy states.
And there's parts of it that are more epic than Colorado, as far as some of those passes are incredible.
The Tetons, man. The Tetons closed down seasonally. They will not. They're like, even if the weather's okay and on that day, they keep it closed for the entire season because weather can sweep in so quickly. So the risk,
I love it when nature's like, listen, I'm in control, always have been. And let me show you something. Nature wins 1,000% of the time.
So I'm going to just because the time's about up, but I wanted to show.
We could talk about Idaho all night long, as far as I'm concerned.
This one is a fun one.
I don't know, man. I'm post
So
everything at this point, man. This
well,
is
so
insane.
for those not on YouTube, it says both Democrats and Republicans swear the same oath to the U.S. and Idaho constitutions, but that tells us nothing about their values, and it is a meme created by the Citizens Alliance to say that the oath or the pledge, as they call it, is the of the alliance is the better thing. That wouldn't is like they're swearing an oath to two big major things, but
Now, what made you think about Idaho? What intrigued you about Idaho?
So my phone is connected to my mom, and my mom
Ah,
does not have an Idaho area code, but has a bed and breakfast in Idaho. And so somehow there was this, it's not spam, because I don't think they were trying to get my money, but it was like, hey, voting for Idaho is tomorrow,
okay.
and
So
you
it's
need
not just a
to
trade.
check for the ones for the pledge. I was like, yeah, that's something
Didn't you stay
interesting.
out there like
I'm going to look
2
into
years
that.
ago? Did you go and stay out there for like Christmas or something?
Yeah, yeah, totally. For my mom's birthday. It was my mom's 80th
Yeah,
birthday.
that's right.
Yeah, no, it was a huge what to do. It was fantastic. So that's for those seeing on the YouTube. That's the actual pledge on their website, and the one source is just them. I'm not taking from anyone else. And you know what? There's things that I'm like, okay, I get it. Oh, I get it. Oh yeah, no, no, you're not Democrat or Republican. You're okay. And other things are like, oh, all right, no,
Yeah, I'm
well, wasting
lactose free.
spendful bills
No
and
lives
tax
matter.
increases that expect no vote for wasteful like the last two vote for do not vote for wasteful spending bills and tax increases that expand the government beyond rate of
Really
growth
put it in
and
that.
vote to give any new power to the federal government. I'm like, yeah, that could be used both ways. All right,
Yeah, good luck when they
all
get
right.
the big supercomputer that Kevin O'Leary's bringing in next door.
Idaho specifically.
No, it's in Utah, but Idaho's going to enjoy the benefits of it.
Oh no, yeah, Utah's been yeah they got the underground
Ridiculous.
storage
26
facilities a
atomic bombs of
long
energy a day.
long time. Oh yeah, Idaho,
No
Utah.
biggie.
Like there's so much. It's so beautiful though. Like that's
It
another
is.
thing. I have family and when I traveled
I worked in Lake
to
Howell.
Idaho as a kid. Like I know it. I know it well. Do you ever go to Havasu Falls?
Yes,
Like
I've
that
been
in
everywhere
oh
there.
man, it's
I love
like
no
so
Southern Utah's biggest got some amazing views.
Zion.
I've had some shoot.
Oh,
I
Bryce
went to
Canyon.
I went to all of them.
Mm.
Canyonlands.
Oh man,
I had
and
one
then
of
the
the best
Grand.
experiences of my life about 2019. It was October 19th of 2019. I went into this place called the False Kiva Cave. It's off the map. It's in the Canyonlands. You have to go through Moab. And then you got to hike into the
Which
desert.
means sick in French. Yeah.
Oh, and I've been in Moab and shoot in 1995. I was working in Lake Powell. My car kept breaking down all the time. I went to Salt Lake City and I bought an acoustic electric bass. And my girlfriend and I drove back down to Moab and we camped in a cave, that's wild because we're hippies, whatever. And I woke up in the morning right as the sun's coming up, and I'm playing my acoustic bass, and it's like candy in Moab. Life's not too bad. Not too bad.
That is, it's not too bad. Life is. Hey, so, I've told people before. I have a slip disc. It's like 12-year-old injury. My L5, L6 herniation in my spine, and so I just have constant pain. Especially when I wake up because my muscles spasm in the night. And I just wake up like, sometimes, fortunately, that one started the first couple of years. It's like it was a cycle, and
I had a back problem happen in January that was so severe. I
but
empathize
you know,
with, like that's serious business.
but like the sciatica hasn't really been the biggest issue. It's
That's
just like
a kind
general.
of pain that just is like it's not going to leave you alone. It's like, hey,
But,
you're not gonna forget
ever.
about me.
But what you mentioned, and this is something I tell people a lot, especially when talking about this moment, and so I'm bringing it up because of you, is the Buddha said life is suffering. And I took that in such a positive way because if life is suffering, anything above it, anything. And so if I wake up with a physical form of what we can call suffering, which is also known as pain, And I could go two routes, and I'd be like, I need to get this. I
It
am
offers
not a.
contrast to the joy.
Or I could walk it off and do some stretches if it's like really bad. If it's really, really bad, well, sucks. And that's been less and less over the 12 years of this injury. And there's some bad days. And there's some pretty great days, and there's some days that I just need to walk. And the more I just like am active and just like it slowly, gets less, and it's never gone. I'm feeling it right now. But anything above that, I like minimum.
Victory.
I had a nice poop. Whatever.
That's a victory.
Anything.
Right, you were
It's
singing in
it's
that
it's a
canal. Right? You were
bonus.
singing the other
What
night.
I call it, it's a
You were
bonus.
bonus.
Yeah.
I
What
think
was I saying?
that's a beautiful point, and I think that you have. I always echo it with this. Check it out. My father was a Nichiren Shoshu Buddhist. Okay, so I was exposed to a lot of those precepts, and it resonated because it's not an ideology. We all have a Buddhahood in us. It's our essential nature, right?
Oh
But the
yeah.
thing that I loved this thing where it broke my brain the first time I heard it. I was 9 years old, and it was, when you meet the Buddha on the path, be willing to slay him. And I thought, what do you mean? Like kill Buddha? No. You're willing to slay your conceptions of what you do not know. And
Right.
so if you have suffering, you can't say definitively that it will be a perpetual state forever, because they talk about the cessation of suffering. That's the Four Noble Truths, right?
Right.
So
And
what
that's
you're
what brought
saying.
this all up. Right.
That's what you're
Yeah.
saying, is because there's an alternative to that, but it's also offering contrast. That's what gives it depth and dimension. If you have nothing
Yes.
to contrast it with, what is joy? But just,
But it's
our
it's
brains work like that. It's the polarity. It's the duality that makes sense to us.
you were talking earlier with like that thought of how the friend who had a hard time not a friend, but the person you met that had a hard time meditating. I'm not remembering the
Yes,
context
right,
at this
right, right,
point.
right, right, right. And shooting love
and
into
and
somebody's
shooting
heart,
the
a stranger's
love
heart.
as you pass them without any like verbal or even physical
Right,
indication, but just like mentally, spiritually, orally, shooting love into that person's heart as much
right,
as you love your mother, you love your children, you love
right.
the
And
things
keep
that
walking.
stereotypically they say that's where the biggest love is, right? And you keep on walking, and there's no like I don't know
There's no thought of it
creepiness
after that. Totally
or any
disconnected.
right. And it's like no, there's a lack of connection. It's like boom, I
Boom.
love you,
You met that
and
moment
I
fully.
would do the I love you so much that all of my being is you. And
Right,
then the moment passes, and the actual by physical passing, and you pass that person, and boom,
right.
I have
And
no
so that's why I
connection
followed
to
it up
that.
with
But
be
it's
willing to
not
kill the Buddha.
fake. But it's not fake. Exactly. Right.
Because
Yeah.
people would take that and they maybe make a crack about it or be a literalist or all that, or say, yeah, but, or that. No, that's not a thing. It's not a yeah, but, or a thing like that. What it really
Well, and you
is
also,
it's fully embodying the moment, truly,
yeah.
and
What
not
is it?
conceptualizing it as such, but really being
Loving the
it.
person, the loving person, the person who's, I don't know. It's the one on this side is funny enough. The one I can't remember as much, but like loving me, worshiping me, something, and on this side stabbing me. It's
Right.
loving them both the exact same, right? On
Well,
one side
I
and
look
the
at it like
other.
this, like the distance, and this could be like semantics, but it's not. If you hear what I'm saying, it's the distance between the idea and the ideal. So the
Yeah.
ideal is an embodiment of your potential, okay? And the idea
Yes.
is, oh, I need to be present. I need to be balanced. The second you say that, you've divorced yourself from the moment. You're commenting on that. So
Yeah.
when you fuse those
Yep.
things together, then that's what he's really saying.
Well, and there's my high school, junior year high school English teacher. Shout out to Shane Miller. Um, had this moment, like, I came in and said, hey, what are the three things you need to control to keep yourself as a dictator once you're already in? He said, what is friendship? He also tried to break down curse words to us, which was fun. and someone finally said a curse word, and he's like, "All right, let's talk." Was it carnal, whatever knowledge, something
or unlawful carnal knowledge.
foreign unlawful carnal knowledge. Yeah, the F is always the one that hits me up. Is what is a friend? The and the classic philosophical definition is that you have no bad things to say, and what he was like, and he was very honest with it. He's like, I have no friends. You all know that I grew up with the history teacher, and who, another guy. They were in basketball at the same school, and then became teachers. And shout out to Chris Wade. And he's like, you know what? I believe that with how it is for him, I could be his friend, but because of who I am and this stringent definition of what a friend is to someone, I don't know if I could consider him a friend in this historical classical context.
Because you're not clear on the agreement.
Because you're not clear on the agreement, and you have like deviating thoughts or something like that.
Right.
And it's and he said, well, with Buddhism, it's the person on the left and the right can both be your friends because you smile at them, you accept them for what they are doing to you, and that's you see the Buddhahood. You see life as a baseline of suffering, and so anything that feels like not suffering. To me, that's what I've always said.
I just love the fact that they acknowledge that. Who else acknowledges that?
I know. Well, me, I'm acknowledging it right now.
But I also like keeping it real simple.
This is a bonus.
Four Agreements was a good one. I really like that one. I come back to that constantly because what I realized was something like that. It's not a one and done thing. It's a
no. That's when you keep on coming around to.
You're not going anywhere, John. I've got you. I got you right where I want you now.
So the last thing, because we're done with that, and we're going to go into our final segment, which I always like to do with a final cheers.
My absinthe and ayahuasca.
No, get your absinthe and another thing that starts with A. Oh no, not the colloquial term, the actual term.
Okay. All right. All right. So we're gonna do. Okay, this one's to good ships and tall ships and ships that sail over the sea, but the best ships are French ships. So here's to you and me.
Cheers, buddy. Look out.
Booyah!
Because, and I'm not joking right now, we're going to end this. We're going to talk about, because last week Pete and I talked about narcotics. And so this is Narcotics Part 2, Adrenochrome.
Oh, boy. I like doing big fat rails of adrenochrome. Call me crazy. When in Rome. Hey, literally, when in Rome.
From the book
Real Dark.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
If you want to. Okay. Sorry.
By Hunter S. Thompson.
I know where you're going with this.
He chuckled. As your attorney, he said, I advise you not to worry. He nodded towards the bathroom. Take a hit out of that little brown bottle in my shaving kit. What is it? Adrenochrome, he said. You won't need much, just a little tiny taste. I got the bottle and dipped the head of a paper match into it. That's about right, he said. That stuff makes pure masculine seem like ginger beer. You'll go completely crazy if you take too much. I licked the end of the match. Where'd you get this? I asked. You can't buy it. Never mind, he said. It's absolutely pure. I shook my head sadly. Jesus. What kind of monster client have you picked up this time? There's only one source for this stuff. ... He nodded. The adrenal glands
A lot of children.
from a living human body. I said, it's no good. See how they changed? It's no good if you get it out of a corpse. I know, he replied.
You know the party's getting wild when they bust out the adrenochrome. Shit's getting wild. It's a Hollywood thing, you know?
Well, you know, it was made popular as a term a little earlier on, but definitely through Fear and Loathing. Yeah, in Las Vegas, there was a couple of novels that I have them later on. Oh, Aldous Huxley has what is it called?
Doors of Perception.
Adrenochrome. Well, it's in Doors of Perception. Yeah. What do you call it?
You know what? What's another one by him? Journey to the East. No, that's Herman Hesse.
No, he postulated. He actually said it. He postulated that adrenochrome is a possible compound with a psychedelic cactus, the psychedelic cactus of mescaline. But there's also a brief mention of adrenochrome in the 1962 novel A Clockwork Orange.
I'll tell you another one. There was a book by William Burroughs called the Yahe Letters, and he went down to the Amazon, and this was like the first real study of ethnopharmacology, basically plant-based medicines and the drugs and psychoactive substances. They mentioned it there.
Yep. And so, but there's like sensationalism, and Fear and Loathing, the book brought it to a different level, and obviously the movie brought it to a much wider level, especially because the star being Johnny Depp.
Probably the most biggest exposure to the conspiracy theories of the last 20 years or so.
Well, and where do they come from, right? And so it's this based around fictionalization and exaggeration of real life events. Thompson was the gonzo journalist. Who is it? Wolfe. Thomas Wolfe. Yeah, he tried to get into that gonzo journalism and be part of that movement as well.
He was an elitist, like whatever.
In Electric Kool-Aid, the part where he's talking about the moment where Kesey's Merry Pranksters and the Hells Angels come together, because Hunter, he was with Kesey, which you would think it would be the other way around. Hunter was with the Hells Angels, but they were all at the same party, and freaking Wolf was in a back corner somewhere.
Yeah, because he was an Ivy League East Coast blowhard.
And Hunter was in the
Kesey and all those people. There were some rough and tumble people.
And Hunter was in the thick of it, and he saw the gangbang of Neil Cassidy's wife. And Kesey was like, "Could I get your notes on that?" And that's where the whole section of that book comes from, is straight up from Hunter. And he makes it seem like he was there. He was not there. He was at the party. He was not there. But Gilliam... so this is something, Terry Gilliam was the one who finally directed the movie version. There were 5 other directors that were slated to, but no. That's one where everyone panned it, including Hunter, but everyone, including Hunter S. Thompson, said, well, Bill Murray's depiction of me was actually really good. Even Hunter S. Thompson, who did not quite like Fear and Loathing, and he was just...
Or Terry Gilliam?
No, Terry Gilliam directed Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Right, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but there were 5 other directors slated to direct, even in the 80s, before he finally did it in the 90s, in the later, mid-later...
Swear to God.
No. They were all unknowns. And the last one was like a couple British, and they were like, we're going to have a cartoon section, and there's this thing, Breakfast with Hunter, Ewing, Henry Ewing.
Johnny killed it, though. Johnny killed it.
Well, so right, and he was also a Louisville
Lived with them.
native, just and lived with him for 2 months. But they're
Yep.
from the same town, obviously
Yep.
different generations, but
Right.
from
But they
Louisville,
had that kinship
Kentucky,
like that.
and they had that kinship. And Johnny did the work and lived with him for
Right.
2 months.
And they really were friends too.
Hunter shaved his head. It was not the Hollywood people who did that one, and he made
Right.
sure to keep a couple of strands on top.
Sure. Yeah. You
Like
hear about
there
all
was
his
something
shit with
about it.
Jan Wenner from Rolling Stone. Those are epic stories.
Oh, Jan. I mean, they were close, and he fired
Yeah.
him, and they were so
Yep.
close.
Yep.
And Jan's, Depp
Jan sucks.
did his funeral, and well, Jan spoke at it, and he sucks. Whatever. He doesn't fully suck. There's
I
sucks,
know,
and there's
but
like, he messed up. He messed
you
up a
don't
lot.
fire Hunter. Who
Yeah,
cares?
he was his friend, and they stayed friends. Like
Yeah,
whatever.
I know. He
I
took care
know,
of him.
whatever. He took care. Well, yeah, but like he totally fired him. What
Yeah.
prick? Because corporate. Because you're the editor of a major
Right.
magazine. Good for you.
Jan was really a sellout. Yeah, but whatever. I digress. Anyway,
Yeah, he was. He was. That's what I want to say. So with the Gonzo journalism, the first one, what is it? Decadent and Depraved at the Kentucky Derby.
Yep. Oh, and what was his?
With,
Don't tell me. His. I gotta think of it. Stedman. Ralph Stedman.
Ralph
That was
Seven, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where they met, was that one. And he did all the animation, or not the animation, all the cartoons
Fantastic.
for.
Utterly original.
Oh, I love it so much. Let me see if I can just get it.
Unbelievably
Oh,
good.
actually, the page that I just read is such a good one. Freaking. So this is the introduction to Adrenochrome, and it has this.
As your attorney, I
Gonzo.
advise you.
To slow down. I can't keep up.
Got
Which is
Benicio
not a
killed
quote
that.
from the book. Oh, no. Yeah. Underrated character actor. Yeah. The adaptation really brought it to a major scale of awareness. It is a real compound. Adrenochrome
Yeah.
is an actual thing, but it is not hallucinogenic at all.
No.
And you don't have to get
But
it through a living human body.
Great skin, though. I'm telling you.
It's a coagulative. And the conspiracies of like drinking the blood, the
Yeah.
having to scare the child so that they get more adrenal glands going. No, because in the book he says there's only one kind of stuff, adrenal glands from a living human body. It's no good if you get it out of a corpse. And that's why the stupid conspiracy theories of, what was it, like 2017, 18-ish, especially at the beginning of the pandemic, that's where, like, QAnon was really like, and here's something, and you just kept on hearing Adrenochrome. I was like, I know that.
What's the name of that actress that was really famous about 10, 15 years ago? She was with Matthew McConaughey in that astronaut one. She was very famous. Very famous.
Sandra
I'll tell you why
Bullock?
that became a popular meme.
Gravity?
Oh, Bullock. Right. Sandra Bullock. Yep.
With Gravity, with George Clooney?
So do you remember when she went on Ellen and what she said? And she dead serious. This was not a joke.
No.
So this is around 2002 or 2004. This is where a lot of that came from. So Ellen was like complimenting her on her work she had done. Like she thought they were collagen injections in the cheek and stuff. And I swear to God, you can look this up. No. She says, no, it's foreskin from babies. I'm not
That's
joking.
not
You look it up. It's on YouTube. And that was a common practice. Like you go over to Indonesia and they would like wherever. And I think that a lot of people she said it very matter of factly. It wasn't like, but it became very sensationalized afterwards when she said that. It's crazy to hear her talk about it.
But
pull it up for you.
That is gross.
It's so gross, but she's like, it was like
But also,
so matter of fact, like, and Alan's like, oh, okay, that's like it's just normal talk. And the Americans are like horrified, like, no, we don't relate to you, Sandra. Right. Sorry.
All right. The substance is Shut up.
It's sick. No, it's sick.
But it is they hypothesize certain things about adrenochrome, but really the best it doesn't help with successful treatment of schizophrenia and along with the other things that they were giving him.
You mind if I play a
an
minute
early
clip
report
of this episode? There's a minute short for it. I can play it. You mind?
I don't know. Are we getting in trouble for playing that?
Oh, why? It's all fair use because we're going to comment on it. We're making transformative. It's fair use. If we comment on it, there's no, we got to talk about it.
All right. Then I'm going to finish this real quick. Then you pull it up.
So like gag inducing.
So there's a pizza parlor, right? The Washington pizza parlor that Hillary Clinton in the basement had a whole lot of children to make them really scared and then drain them of adrenochrome. So all of that the person who
and all those wonderful characters.
Yeah, he was arrested and sentenced to 4.5 years because of adrenochrome. Like he was like, yeah, no, it's a whole thing, and it's not whatsoever. So that you can synthesize adrenochrome, and it's available to researchers from chemical suppliers. So no need for human sacrifice. Last thing, 2017 horror film named Adrenochrome has this as its tagline, just like this must be the place. Quote: a young American veteran gets involved with a gang of Venice Beach psychos who are killing people to extract a psychedelic compound from their victims' adrenal glands. That was 2017. So, though obviously the farce and look at American society of violence, of Hunter talking about this very innocuous and compound that can only do a couple of things and can be synthesized in his 71 novel. And then the resurgence of the popularity of it because it's such a great scene with Johnny Depp and Benicio del Toro in the movie adaptation, which I personally believe is the best movie adaptation from a book, and that's my thoughts.
I can't agree enough. That movie is amazing.
It's such a good and
story.
5 directors.
You got Chris Cooper. You got Nicolas Cage playing 2 parts. Written by Charlie Kaufman.
Oh wait, no. Adaptation. Adaptation of adaptation. That it's not even the same. No, the adaptation of.
All right, I'll sit down. Okay, never mind.
Gilliam was number 5 chosen, and all others were fired. And he was the one who made it, and it's my personal favorite. That's a good movie. I'm talking about the book to movie adaptation called Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and that's. But it's also good. Whatever. Shut up. Then this bad horror movie in 2017 comes out, and it just starts a little resurgence, and people will just the deep web or the Reddits, and then it turns into subreddits, and then it turns into something else, and then it turns into something else, and then suddenly QAnon gets, and then boom, and boom, and they use it, and it's all based off of silliness that Hunter
dark world, my friend. It's a dark world.
All right, go for it.
So I get a little context again. Like I said, it was that Sandra Bullock clip. Is that what you're saying?
We got 1 minute of it.
Yeah, it's just a little short thing. But I'm going to pull up.
Can you go?
So you can hear it better here. Hold on a
second.
Can
you go to? Can you go
there? And it's like
30 seconds.
Conversation,
Let's go to 30 seconds.
Yeah, you'll see. It'll 30 seconds tops, maybe. I don't know. As long as we talk about it, it's transformative. Fair use.
Two and a half years later.
Here we go. Oh, gotta turn the volume up. This is
Wait,
crazy.
no, you.
Ah. So
I do not. That is not.
this is kind of like where a lot of things started springing from this. You know, as far as I'm sorry. Keep talking.
Well, what you could do is actually share it if you want, because yeah. So that is an option. But while you're doing that, what I'm going to do is give you the sources for this episode of Two Sided.
Okay, let's talk about this fake.
The sources.
Okay, you ready? You ready? You ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Facial that you're obsessed with. That how many did you get the whole cast of Ocean's 8 to do
Not
this?
everybody.
Okay, and, good, smart ones.
Just those that I thought would appreciate it.
Okay, explain what it is.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these. Some of you, I think many of you know it. And it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen, and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes.
What are you pushing into the skin, Sandra?
Sarah?
Carrie? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby. Okay, let's talk.
Boom. Boom. She's walking right into.
Oh, she knew what was going on. She knew what was going on the whole time, so she did that. Yeah. So Ellen walked her into it. Anyway, sources for this episode of Two Sided of Bed. First segment. Are you there? Britannica. Turn your something down. El País magazine. Louder Sound. I'm not saying that to you. Loudersound.com, and I am DB. Why do I have IMBD? Anyway, second segment, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. The Spin-Off .co.nz. McGill, the Office for Science and Society, and IMDb. And the short is the Citizens Alliance of Idaho website.
Shout out to Idaho. And shout out to baby Korean foreskins.
No, not soon enough. It is IMDb, right? Oh man, because I wrote that specifically. No, we're going to the green room. Before we go, it's now time for your favorite game and mine. My boy Dub. What's the through line? The first one being Talking Heads. Second being the short being the Citizens Alliance of Idaho pledge. And the final being Adrenochrome, Narcotics Part 2. What's the through line? Is that your final answer? That is correct. Dub, too much of anything can lead to one hell of a trip. Before we get out of here, is there anything from this episode you'd like to take a second glance at, a second look, a second thought, a second opinion? This is my boy Dub's Retraction Corner. Oh, you are. I'm sorry. Realize you are muted on YouTube. If you wanted to unmute yourself, sorry. I just noticed that.
That's all I got on
No, I didn't do that. You did it. Unmute yourself.
No, no, no.
Oh,
I'm
us,
trying to. I'm trying to find it.
us to unmute. Us to unmute. Us
There we go.
to...
There we go. There we go.
Okay. Lots of windows, lots of this or that. We're coming down. We're coming into the green room, barreling in.
Well, so I'm getting, I've gotten my shot ready for this final one before we go into the green room. And you're welcome for listening, everybody. We have our open chat show continuing for those listening live on the Stereo app or watching live on YouTube. So if you are here now, regardless of the platform, stick around. And if you're hearing this later and want to join us in the green room for after show wind downs or want to throw some topics out there, email two-sidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO sidedpod@gmail.com. Cheers, Dub. It's been fun. And we're continuing. Big Owl. Whoa.
No hands.
That's a wrap for tonight. I'm John L. Peacock out in Brooklyn, New York.
I'm my boy Dub in Rome, underneath the Vatican.
And this was our show. You can eavesdrop wherever you get your podcasts and even join us live, both on our YouTube channel, handle @2sidedpod, all one word, and the Stereo app every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, as we talk about the two sides of life, the serious and the fun. Here on Two Sided. You know, Dub, I love you.
Love you, man. Yul Brenner. That's my Yul Brenner, everybody. You like my Yul Brenner? Oh, well, that takes care of that. He bolts out. That's a John move. Thanks for being here, everybody. Peace.
I believe something bad happened.
Have you ever had the twiglets?
WR.
Oh, the one who makes us taste a bit like marmalade.
What's going on?
Not a big fan. I have
How
tried.
you doing? Just got home. How was Carrie?
Why do they still make it? Fine. Somebody likes that. Some people love it.
Not fine.
It's like marmalade.
Yeah, what is...
You know, I don't know. Well, whatever. She does resale. She has an eBay, whatever, pretty big business, whatever, reselling and thrifting and whatnot. She started doing this thing on this app called Whatnot, which is like online.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Live auction, whatever shit.
Yeah.
And so she stumbled across this guy who's this gay guy who's like fabulous, whatever, and lives outside of, I think, Miami.
Hello.
Or Florida.
And that is that, everybody.